gentlemen, welcome to another episode of The Flank. I'm joined by the 20-time champion and 2-time world champion, a legend in the Call of Duty scene, the co-host of The Flank. Give it up for Patty P, a.k.a. Iggs. And then we're also joined by my friend, my duo, my companion, Mr. Ben J. Nassim. Both of you, welcome to the show. It's been an absolute pleasure doing The Flank with you guys every day. How you guys doing, man? You enjoy the games today? I thought we had some good games today.
Listen, Tom, I got 2 words. First word, Harry. Second word, Kane.
You watched the game today? What was it, the 93rd minute, 93rd minute?
So I went out and got some lunch with my friends at the Korean barbecue. So I watched the first half, and then I had to get an Uber. And I was sitting there, like, losing full, trying to watch the second half. But I thought it was going to be chalked, and then we gave up a penalty, and then he scored in extra time. Yeah,
I saw that. He scored with the header right on the cross, the last second. He's always been good in the box, man. I mean, Harry Kane, he's hard to contain. But yeah, it was a good game. I saw you tweeting about it and shit. But people are here to talk about COD. We got a lot of COD to talk about today. We had 4 series today. Pat, what's going on? You enjoy the games today?
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed them, Tom, but there's just, there's some stuff that I got to say. As you can see with my background, I'm in Zen City tonight. I got some words for Zen. Getting beat by the New York Subliners, absolutely unacceptable out of Boston today. So yeah, interesting games, but we'll get into them.
Yeah, I think there was a couple surprises today, at least to me. I don't know. You said that it wasn't surprising to you, so I think we disagree on a couple things. So let's get right into it. Let's switch over screens, and let's start things off with the first match. We had the Florida Mutineers going up against the Seattle Surge. And I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't expect Florida to win this series. Pat, you told me that you weren't surprised.
Yeah, so, I mean, look, I've been talking about this on this show, that I'm not fully bought into the Seattle hype train yet. And let me preface this by saying Florida played amazing today, right? I don't want to take anything away from them. They played very good. It was a good showing out of them.
Yeah.
But something I just, Seattle to me, if Sib is not frying, if Sib is not like that 1.4, 1.5 superstar just outslaying, this team doesn't look good to me. They just don't. And I think they were ahead for a while. And I'm not hating on them, but I think it's something that I continually want to watch as the season progresses, and just how consistent this Seattle team is outside of Sib. Because when he has a bad map or a bad performance, I feel like they lose it every time. I mean, I don't want to talk about his total stats today. They were pretty bad. I think he ended up like -25 with like a 0.7 or something like that. But obviously a one-off for him most likely. But still, I mean, you can't rely on one superstar player.
No, you can't. And I definitely think in the beginning of the game, they were putting in a lot more work than a lot of other teams. At least that's what the word on the street was, that Seattle was just really far ahead and they were doing really good. So maybe teams are just catching up now. Maybe teams are just catching up and teams are getting better. A little bit of a mishap in this first map. Vivid lagged out in the middle of the game. It was about like a tie game. He lagged out. He ended up joining back, and then I don't know what happened. The game ended, and they ended up doing a replay. So you know how sometimes the replays can be a mental factor. Seattle ended up winning the map, but because Vivid lagged out, they replayed, and Florida was able to take the W. So I didn't mind the replay. I don't know if you guys minded it at all. What did you guys think about the replay? I thought it was fine. I thought it was a tie game when he lags out, and they got it going again. So I thought it was fine.
I'm glad. I think, some complaints that we've had for the CDL in the past is they wouldn't make that call, right? They wouldn't force that replay. And yeah, I mean, this was a pretty fair example of when he lagged out. Like, it deserved a replay. I'm kind of surprised they even played out the first map without just ending it from production, just going over. But yeah, shout out to, who made that call, and it was the right call to make. So it's good progress to see.
Yeah, Florida, they came out swinging on the boat cage. I mean, they built themselves a good lead. They were staying ahead of rotations. They were doing a good job keeping stuff scrappy. I mean, you can see the talent in Florida. You can see it. And listen, I just feel like it's the same bullshit, though, as last year in Cold War. Florida comes out and they beat a good team. It's not the first time we've seen this. It's just about the consistency with these guys. Why is it that they come out and beat good teams, and then the next day or the next weekend, they just can't do the same thing? It just seems like a lot of ups and downs.
I think it's 2 things. I think one is they have a pretty loose system, so like that's always going to give you inconsistent results. And they have players that individually are inconsistent. Like Big Wig had a big series. I think he went like +19 with like almost like a 1-4.
To be fair, they all did.
Yeah, they all played well, but I'm saying that Big Wig from series to series sometimes is night and day. We've seen that a lot of Skies the last couple of years. Dave Patty had a great series. I just think a combo of that, like they're still in that bucket. They're still that team that were like they could beat anyone and lose to anyone on a given day.
Yeah.
I feel like the system you were talking about though, Ben, like this, you said they don't really have like a good system. I feel like Dave Patty's helped a lot with that. I feel like he's a smart player. He's a smart kid.
Well, did you watch his interview?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. That.
Yeah, he did not sound like a rookie in the interview at all. It was actually surprising. But something he did say was like he kind of accredited it to their day of preparation. So like most teams, usually talk about their preparation leading to the event or the match or whatever. But he was all about just their day of prep, like when how early they got on, how many warm up games they played, their vibes on that specific day. That's kind of what he accredited to. So thinking about that, Ben, like what you said, is this team can beat anyone or lose to anyone. I wonder how much that plays a part, right? If they have bad warm-ups, right? If they get shit on in their warm-up scrims and they then get played really bad in their match. So
it's like a mental thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Their preparation before the series seems to be a big thing for them. I mean, it's a big thing for everybody. I think it's important that before the series that mentally you got to get focused and get ready to go, Before the series is when you talk about your strategy, you talk about who you're playing, what maybe some tendencies. I'm sure a lot of these teams were watching VODs before as well. So, just preparing for the team that you're about to face off against. And it seemed like Florida, they came out hot today. They were able to tuck in this bouquet chart point and get a dub here. Really like how everybody from Florida is pulling weight. You don't see anybody carrying, anybody trying to make plays. We see some people pretty much carrying their teams to victories these days. I'm talking about Hydra, and we'll get there. But, I mean, Florida, they're doing it as a team right now, and I think this was a good series. They started off really hot. This bouquet hard point, I think, gave them some confidence into the rest of the series. We go into the search and destroy, and, I mean, they mopped them in the search and destroy. Which
and I think
is typical. Go ahead, Pat.
Before we get off the bouquet chart point, I think it was Sib who tweeted out about the coin toss. I'm assuming they lost and Florida got to pick that bouquet. I wonder if this is going to be Florida's go-to map. We kind of were talking about it before, right? Where this is a map where Vivid really shines. His play style, right? You want Vivid on a map like Bocage instead of Gavatsu. So going down the road, it'll be interesting to see if teams start to ban that against Florida.
Well, I mean, if that being said though, because I know Florida's inconsistent. If I'm a Toronto in a phase though, I don't mind playing.
Oh yeah, well we have those anomalies, right?
Bocage, yeah,
Optic too, like same thing.
And
I'm talking about the teams that are like Thieves, Seattle.
I don't even think Thieves is decent at Bocage. I know they obviously struggled today on the map, but like I don't know. That's going to be an interesting kind of mix, right? It's a good kind of warm up map, but I mean, even when you talk about the Team A Team B thing, like. To the Seattle side, like cool, like you guys also then picked Berlin S&D and you guys got 6-1 smoked, like you got to win your map picks and at least put yourself in a position, even though you may be not playing your favorite control map, to at least be 1-1 going in.
You see Skies in the chat. He said, feel like we haven't even gotten smoked. Like we get 3-0'd, but 4 maps are 2-3 seconds from flipping in our favor. I'm confident in our team, even when people doubt us. Well, yeah, I think the thing with you, Caesar, the thing with you guys is just like the inconsistencies. People know you guys have what it takes to constantly beat top teams. You guys need to just get the system in place. What you guys did today, Caesar, whatever you ate, whatever time you went to bed last night, whatever you fucking did, you just keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what all you got to do is just get into a rhythm. And you guys can definitely get there. I think you guys have a good foundation. You guys have a lot of great players. And it seems like you guys got a good attitude about, about how you guys like to play. So, I think you just guys keep doing what you're doing and don't change a fucking thing, C. Don't change a thing because whatever you guys did today worked.
The only problem with their system that I see is kind of like when you play those top dog teams and you're not slaying well, I think that's really when you're going to see it. Just it's really hard to make work. When you can't get kills playing that loose style, it's tough. So, but I think they have that very strong S&D backbone to kind of rely on. So, yeah, they're interesting for me because I feel like they could be a 2-3-5 team in that sense, but they can kind of be a 50-50 hardpoint team versus anyone. So. Yeah.
No, they've always been really solid in S&D, by the way. They're not scared to make plays. They're not scared to individually make a play. They're not scared to get aggressive on the map. I mean, these are what the best S&D teams do. I mean, they're creative. They switch things up. It's not the same default all the time. And I think that's something that Florida, you can really tell when you watch them play. Yeah, they're very creative in this game mode. So Florida come out, and I just feel like they're riding off the confidence. They smoked Seattle so bad in this S&D. I just did after this map. I just didn't see them losing. It just seemed like everything was going their way. It was just one of those series that was blowing by in the blink of an eye. So unless you guys... Go ahead, Pat.
Well, no, I was just kind of going to say, so we said that Seattle, before this match, were guaranteed their spot, right? They were 3-0 going into this. They had a lock for their winner bracket spot.
I'm pretty sure that's what Ben said, right? They were locked in?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure with tiebreakers that going into today, like they were valid. And obviously now I think they're in a position where they're still good, but like you might not, I remember I was watching Chris Crowder doing his morning crowd thing. He was talking about how for the bracket, come up in Major 1, obviously it's not a coin flip in that first round. You know, you get to
it's seed-based, right?
Your high seed, so you really kind of do want a top 4 seed so you can choose that control.
Makes sense. No, I was just asking. It was just something to keep in mind. And
I feel like they're gonna have to do something. I feel like they're gonna have to do something about that coin flip.
I think it needs to change.
Yeah.
Whether it just be the AB swap or the new map.
So here's the thing: adding a third map is one solution. The other solution is this: if people kind of solve Gavitu control and people don't mind playing the map, like there's a school of thought, right, of like, well, I'd rather pick which side I start on if I don't care which map I play. But I will say my caveat to that though is I do think a third map would make it very simple and would open up the choices.
Not even a third map. We need to add more maps, period. I mean, Pat, I see you in my chat, and listen, I know there's people that are going to comment and be like, oh, it's the same repetitive shit. They always say this. But listen, like, this is like, it's getting ridiculous. It's so repetitive. And some of these maps are just playing out the same way. I mean, how many Cav 2 controls have we fucking seen?
Yeah, like where defense just wins 90% of the time.
Yeah, and today was an anomaly. There was a lot of crazy shit going on in Gav 2 control, but I mean the map just doesn't.
But even Bocage Hardpoint, like.
Yeah, that too.
I'm kind of just tired of them both.
Well, Bocage Hardpoint, I mean, it's just it's a flood fest. It really is. Yeah. It's a flood fest, and you'll see teams rotate. Sure, most of the time it's not even rotations. It's kind of people just sneaking by because of squad spawns and stuff, like an individual player.
And the rotation doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
right?
and then
it's not like this rotation's locking you up 30, 40 seconds.
Right. It's like, you know, it's very rare you see a team get like a full 60 on a hill. Usually most hills are being split. That's why it always goes down to time limits or down to the wire. I think that's why Boston was able to pull through today in their Bocage. We'll get there because they were able to lock down a full 60, which is very hard to do, but. It's just a very mixy and scrappy map. But we get into the Tuscan control. And again, just get those 8 points. It really just comes down to these B points and how teams elect to break through this. A lot of teams are still doing this church push. I see a lot of teams working through mid. They're trying to get kills, and then they're running up church stairs and trying to cut back or trying to flood through front. Doesn't seem like people are really trying to make plays around the back anymore. It seemed like in the beginning people were trying to make plays. I mean, sometimes, Ben, right, people will make an individual play, but when teams are coming all spawn it, I feel like they're trying to use their numbers and just trying to force front or force through church. But what do you think, Ben?
I mean, I think we're seeing a mix of both. Like, I think today we saw a lot of offensive wins on Tuscan. I'm actually looking up. I'm trying to see now what the split is.
Well, Ben, if you don't mind, go back to the first round. I mean, Florida trolled the first round. They had a 17-11 life advantage.
First round?
Yeah, they had a 17-11 life advantage in the first offense, and they ended up tossing that one away. It's little things like that. I mean, I don't know how when you have a 17-11, like right here, it's 16-10 now. But I think right here, like this is things that, you know, is going to make Florida more consistent. They can't give rounds like this away. When they have a life advantage of 17-11, they have to make
Especially
sure.
With that much time.
Yeah, like so much time. 30. So much time to work with. And again, they won the series and they played great today. And this is just to help Florida, I feel like, to stay more consistent. When you get into these positions where you have life advantage, where you have the power position and stuff like that, just do stuff together. I just felt like they got into they blacked out. They were blacking out. They just kept going, and they kept going, and then it just kind of dwindled down, and Seattle was picking up a lot of kills, and they just seemed like they blacked out a little bit, and it let it get away from them. So
I don't know if that's actually. This is a really good play. I want to go back and point this out, Tom.
Pred pinch? Are you talking about the Pred pinch?
Well, like number 8's not really Pred's. I don't think they can see Pred. He's playing like a dark corner, so they didn't even go up to check it. So they all run by, and then he just shoots 2 people in the back.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You see how they all ran by, though? I feel like they should be clearing that out. They should be watching that.
With that life lead, they don't need to be playing for the point so aggressive when there's so much time
just get kills.
Left.
Just keep focusing on kills. Like, clear it out. Like, take your time. It's a benefit
either way, right, for the last round. So there's no downside to doing that.
Yeah,
Ben, I got a question. Was there no Seattle listening on this control?
There is definitely. Was there? I don't remember. I don't remember.
Well, the reason I bring it up is I feel like when a team's down 0-2, there was a Seattle one, not a Florida one.
That's a Caesar. Sky said in the chat. There was a listening.
There was Seattle listening at some point in this map.
Can we go into it? Where was it?
Yeah, we can find it.
I'll find it, but keep going.
Yeah, what were you saying, Pat?
This map, I'm pretty sure.
Right there.
No, I was just saying, like, I feel like it should be a pretty much a guarantee to always listen in. If a team is down 0-2 in a series, to listen in almost every single time, just to kind of see what their vibes are looking like down 0-2.
Well, let's tune in. Let's tune into it.
Before you go, let me speak to this, Pat.
Yeah.
So one thing, because I talked to our producers about this, yesterday. So we're gonna try and mix it up a bit. I think our kind of thought process is like our default position going to a series is if we think a certain map is very important or certain game mode specific important, we'll focus on that between hardpoint and control in terms of listens. Because I was like not a sometimes last year was a little monotonous when you would only have a listen on map 1 to map 4 and now on the control.
Yeah.
But that's a good call out pad that like in an O2 situation we can make a call on the fly. We just want to mix it up and give people kind of different looks on when we're listening to hardpoint and control. And by the way, sometimes we may do 2 listen-ins on the same map.
That'd be totally fine, I think. I think people love listen-ins. And something to kind of add to that is those like down to the wire hard points, right? When it's like a crazy comeback. I feel like I would want to be in a listen-in more than the casters almost every time. That's not like a dig any casters, but like the comms in those moments are insane. Like they're
but they're also going to drop F-bombs, so we got to do
I mean, it's an M-rated game, an M-rated show. Fuck
I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think the listen-ins just add to the atmosphere of it. You hear the energy in their voices. Well, besides for Toronto. I mean, Toronto's listen-ins are one of a kind. But let's tune into this listen-in and let's see how Seattle sounds.
One shot, Dave. He's mid alley. Look this side. Look this side.
Top broken. One shot mid alley.
I'm looking top broken.
Go. I'm on our streaks, guys.
I'm gonna go push your B.
I have a glide.
I'm pushing through their side.
I got naded. He's their side.
I'm flanking top church.
One church.
Closer side, dead. We're fucking winning this shit. I don't see him back patch.
Was that Pred?
Yeah, that was Pred. Yeah.
Listen, I have a glide. You guys have church? Hold church, okay?
Alright. I'm holding back our church. Three back A.
Okay, hold church. I'm gonna glide.
I'm looking back.
Ready? I'm gliding.
I spawned well. One's fucking in our base.
Okay. 2 windows, 1 back alley. Okay, I'm trying to kill the kid back alley. I got him. 2 windows.
I'll come with you. I'm in the back. Left P5 on me. I'll left P5.
See how they're setting this up? How they're playing the back?
Did you see how he spawned well? Obviously, he thought somebody was in their base. I would think the same. That spawn's kind of fugazi.
Ramp. One shot on point.
Top flat weak. Top church race. One shot in the back. Regroup and go left.
I'm going left again. He's mid alley visit, okay? He's gonna play under
One
broken, top broken.
push up. He ran to the
Okay,
side.
you 2 work P5 then.
I'm
He could be
needing
low
P5.
well on you, you heard?
Yeah, he probably is. I'm gonna drop low and clear it. I drop low. One top church.
Okay.
I'll go leap on it. I'm on short.
I'm gonna go P1, okay?
Top church to windows.
Awakening's gonna be here, okay?
Windows weak, Caesar.
Okay. You guys work mid. Let me know when you guys are there.
I'm stunning him in windows. He's stunned, go easy.
Windows. Guys,
D1 Reese,
D1 dead.
Almost windows. Windows on me. One more time.
Bottom church, Caesar going top. No, he's playing his life, going to ramp, maybe ramp.
Okay.
I stunned
One's pot on me.
Nice! Caesar was off spawn ramp.
We gotta talk about this done.
Yeah, we could tune it down now. There's about to be over. But you heard them trying to say it. You heard them in the listening. Work left to try and work left. I mean, I thought a lot of teams like to work front in church, but it seems like Seattle has different plans. Go ahead.
I gotta be honest. The only person really giving small talk in that situation was Lamar. I wasn't hearing a lot of call outs when people were coming off of spawn.
No, I agree.
Spawn where they were going.
Lamar is definitely overpowering those.
A lot of very simples.
I heard Dante. He's quiet though.
Dante called out, but no one's like saying I spawned here like off of spawn. Like they're doing here's where I died from and here's who killed me, and like you can't win just doing the basics. You got to do the small talk in the traffic.
Yeah, Lamar's definitely trying to IGL. Yeah. Pred is going to bring that energy, bring that hype. I think Lamar's going to bring that leadership. I think Sib and Mac are definitely going to have to step up in the comms a little bit and get more involved. That's just, I feel like Mac and Sib are both like that. They're just very slay heavy and they're kind of in their own little zone. They talk, they communicate, but I definitely think they can add a little bit more to it. You heard them trying to set up that left push and maybe set up, you heard Lamar saying maybe send 2 P5, you 2 work P5, we'll go around left. I think there's so many different ways you can break through it as long as you're doing something together and you're holding somebody's pocket. I think is like the best thing. You don't want to do anything solo unless you can find a gap. You saw Bance doing it, right? Finding gaps to the map and somehow getting to the back. I mean, individual plays will always be a thing, but this B point, man, it is a struggle to get. I feel like most of the time people are winning rounds either by 4 dead and stacking real quick and getting stacks or just bringing it down to live. So good tries out of Seattle today, but it just wasn't enough today. They didn't have enough in the tank to take down Florida. It was a big series for them, too. I think Florida needed a series like this.
Where does this put Florida now?
So Florida's stuck in this massive pack of people that can either make winner's bracket or loser's bracket. For Seattle, I think they're pretty much guaranteed top 6 at this point in terms of seeds. I think,
but not top 4, right?
No, I think there are scenarios where they might be able to get second or third. I have to go through. It's a little confusing with FaZe, and if FaZe lose, and then we have a bunch of 4-1 teams. It's a little
FaZe
bit
play
confusing.
NYSL though, right?
Yeah, so
Okay,
I don't
so
think it's
no way
likely
they
to
lose.
But for Seattle, look, I mean, this is probably the worst series they played as a team so far this year. Like,
It'll happen.
To go back to your earlier point, Pat. Like, I just think it's a little too early to make the claim that you were making. I kind of see where you're coming from, and I think it's a fair opinion. But I think this is a team that like has a lot of long-term potential. They're gonna have ups
hold
and
on.
downs.
Is it though, Ben? Because you got to think, a majority of their series were there was 2 Game 5 round 11s that, granted, they should have lost. If Lamar didn't clutch up and win it, they could easily be at 1-3 right now, without question. It was 2 Game 5 round 11s that Lamar made a miracle clutch.
Yeah,
like
it's true.
This team could easily be 1-3. So I don't think it's anything crazy to make that call that this team, may not be as good as they were in the very beginning.
Well, here's my concern right now is I thought they looked like the best hardpoint team, like going into Kickoff Classic, and they looked great in that mode at Kickoff Classic. But since then, they've been a pretty average hardpoint team. Their S&D, like to your point, has kind of bailed them out. So they're going to do some work in that mode because you get two.
And I
of
think
them,
it comes
two
down
of
to
the
if their superstars slay, and like you can't rely on that, right? Like you're gonna have games where people aren't gonna be slaying that way. You got to play the right way every time, and I think now that more teams are catching up and learning the game a little bit more, and hey, maybe they went back to the Kickoff Classic and copied what people did.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know. I think we're gonna have to keep an eye on Seattle as time goes on.
We'll keep an eye on them. Listen, the competition is getting harder and harder as the year goes on. Like people are just getting better. Yeah, I think teams that were at the top might be slowing down because they were ahead, and teams that are at the bottom are getting better. We see Optic really starting to hit the fan now. They look a lot better. You see teams like New York get their first win. Florida looked better today. I mean, if some of these middle of the pack teams start moving on up and start showing what they're capable of doing, I mean, we never know who the fuck's gonna win on a day-to-day basis. So, I mean, right now things are looking crazy. But we head into the next series. We go into the Boston Breach, going up against the New York Subliners. New York finally able to squeak out a win, barely squeak out a win, barely.
I cannot believe it.
I get agita watching these fucking guys. I get agita.
I'm glad New York won in the sense that they were really bad and obviously needed this, but wow, I feel like Boston should have won this series 9 times out of 10. This was kind of a shocker. Obviously there was a Gava 2 where I think I fell asleep during that one. It was just so defense heavy after 1-1. But yeah, I mean, Boston came out. Bocage. I'm really surprised to see New York play. I know.
I know exactly where this took a turn. I mean, if you want to take it to it was a P5 hill. I have it written down. It was Boston. It was very head to head the whole game. Typical Bocage, right, back and forth. You rotate, breaks, scrappy hills. Everybody's all over the fucking places. People all over the map. Spawns are fucking everywhere. But there was a P5 that Boston locked down a full 60. And you never see that. You never see that on Bocage. Boston literally stormed through this map after this. They get a full 60 and it was over. And I think New York just struggled here. And I don't know what happened here. I don't know how Boston was able to lock down a full 60 and how New York couldn't get in. I just felt like Boston just kept getting the kills and it kept pushing forward and it constantly kept delaying New York's push. And New York couldn't do anything about it.
Am I faded? But why and Ben, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think New York picked this map.
Well, they also don't want to play. They don't really play Berlin, and like that is
why.
I'm a little confused about that too because I would think that a team of Clay and Krim would be pretty confident in Berlin, but
why is
playing
them combined to be 60 years old, and you're playing a bunch of 19-year-olds on Bocage? Like, what is the point in that? And don't get me wrong, Krim was doing his thing.
Yeah, he was doing his thing.
But still, like, this makes no sense.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're probably thinking, hey, we got Royalty and not Neptune, but Hydra too.
Right, I'm not gonna dig on Royalty because I already talked about this. I think he just got put in a bad spot regardless. But I mean, he didn't play well this series either.
No, he didn't.
So yeah, I don't know. I just don't think. I think they should stray away from this.
I think their hardpoint map pool is just tiny.
I mean, their hardpoint records 0-50. Start switching it up.
They haven't won a map. They haven't won a map in hardpoint. I couldn't believe. I can't believe they haven't won a map in hardpoint yet. I can't believe that. These guys are too talented to not be having at least get one map on a board. Not one yet. I mean, I don't know what's going on with them in this game mode. They're just not on the same page, and they constantly they had it. This map was so back and forth the whole way, and they just let Boston take it away and constantly put that pressure down. If you want to
take it a step further, I mean, Hydra went off map 5 and dropped 17.
Bro, Hydra just went off. Period,
Hydra went off the whole. He was doing his thing. Hydra's always doing his thing. He's gonna have series where he's not playing well, but that's gonna happen when the team's not playing well together. I mean, the superstar player's not always gonna be able to just put the team on their back. Paco won them this series today. Period.
And he kept them in this series.
Yeah, he kept them
he
in
got
it too.
To a game 5 and then won the game 5.
Yeah, I mean Paco's diffy. Paco's
yeah,
diffy.
he's bailing them out right now, big time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. This team still. I mean, I know you won this series, but I wouldn't take this series as a big win if I'm them. I'm still hitting the drawing board and trying to figure a lot out because, they seem to be happy in their searches and even the control. But to me, it was a squeak out that I wasn't really impressed with. So I think this team still has more to work on than just hardpoint.
Hey, listen, gotta give it up for Capsule as well and all the Boston guys. Capsule was making plays. He was making absolute plays. This kid's good, man. He's good. You give this kid a little bit more time too. I feel like he's just gonna get better and better. This whole Boston team, I feel like, will get better and better as time goes on, even though they lost the series today. But good first map out of Capsule on them.
I have a different take though, Tom. Yep. I think teams are caught up to them and they're in kind of a weird spot right now. They've got a really tough match tomorrow, and they're going to be under a lot of pressure in Major 1. Like, I think this is very much an interesting time to see what this team is made of, at least short term. They looked like they had a really good kind of honeymoon prior to Kickoff Classic, and they played pretty good in that banger series against New York that took like 3 hours.
Yeah.
But since then, like I think they've come back down to earth a bit. So want to see kind of how they perform here over the next about 2-3 weeks.
Yeah, we'll see how it all plays out. So you think, Ben, that they might be going downhill? You think they started hot?
I think the pack. I think they were looking good going to Kickoff Classic, and they had that tough series loss against New York. And I was like, okay, I think they'll be a decent team going into Major 1. But now I think a lot of teams have caught up, and so they're sort of stuck in what is a really big logjam of teams in the middle, and I'm not really sure kind of where they rank amongst all those teams. Now they can go through and beat Optic tomorrow and get top 6 in the Major, and I'm like, okay, this team's for real. Or it's not really also down to them. It just speaks to sort of the logjam of teams that sit sort of beyond kind of your elite teams in the CDL right now.
Yeah. I'll get Zen City tatted on my ass if they beat Optic tomorrow.
Oh, don't say that. Don't say that.
No way. There's just no way they're beating Optic tomorrow, bro. I'm just.
I mean, Optic looked good yesterday. Aside with all the other fugazi, the other bullshit. I mean, they look good. They did look really good, and they were moving diffy. And so, and I know those guys are confident right now. Those guys are feeling good. So tomorrow's gonna be a really tough match for ball. It's gonna be the battle of the green tomorrow. Battle of the green. It's gonna be tough, man. And first round, Clay with a 1v2, good clutch out of him. I think it was good to get a little momentum here. Zinni was going big this map, by the way. Zinni was making plays. Later. You think Clay trolled later?
Yeah, I forget which round. It was either 5-4, I think, where Krim got a first blood with a nade bottom church, and Clay was top church, and then chowed Zinni on like the hardest heady for no reason.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Like,
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Completely pointless.
That's when Zinni was top broken.
Yeah, and he had been playing that the whole game, so it's not like Clay didn't know he was there.
Well, let's be honest. Zinni's up there every round, and everybody knows he's up there. I mean, it's a power position. You play your head glitches. A lot of teams have a dedicated top broken person or top fire person that just go up there every single round. They crouch on that head glitch and they try and work those angles. But Zinni was a clutch master this map. He was doing really good stuff. 4-5 round though. The 4-5 round, Nero trolled bad, in my opinion. I don't know what you guys think, but I think Nero. Let's take a peep here. I have it written down in my notes. I thought
he's bomb carrier.
I thought Nero trolled right here. I thought he trolled. Just check it out. Let it all play out. They're slow playing it. Chris gets a good grenade off the rip.
Wait, this is when Clay trolled too, isn't it?
Yeah, this is when Clay jumped. Yeah, Clay jumps up.
Like,
he ends, I don't know. Yeah, he shouldn't have chowed right there. But right here, I mean, Boston could put this away though. Like Boston could put this away here. I think Nero, he works with his bomb plant. I forget what he does, but I do remember him trolling. I thought he trolled here. We could get your opinions right here. Pause it. Bombs down, right? Bombs down. All you need to do is back up.
He slid and laid down. Yeah, he slid and laid down.
Yeah, he challenges. What is he doing here? And then play it. You can play it now. But look, he just jumps at him. Like, you just got the bomb down, and you have a guy top fire, and you have a guy watching pinch. Like, back up. Like, play your life. He can even dip out middle with a teammate top fire looking at mid. Like, he can even dip out mid. And
he
just
went rogue for no reason.
He went rogue. He just jumped at him.
I wonder what the comms were, because he made that play as if he didn't think anybody was there, and obviously that was not the case.
I don't know.
I mean, Cap's also in a weird spot in this round. Like, he's obviously watching the mid push to see if someone runs through bottom and Here's a flank middle, but
I don't mind his play. He did a late flank
yeah,
church.
I
Like, that's,
agree with you. Like
but this,
I think
this
Nero
is
should
troll.
back up here. I think he should back up to the head glitch, like behind him to his left, like back up to the
Yeah,
heady, or just
and
work
watch their
middle with his
side.
teammate. Yeah, or watch their side. Like, just play your life. Like, get information. He just kind of jumped at him. Hey, listen, Nero's a good player, man. People make mistakes. So I'm not here saying like, oh, you know, it's his fault, this and that. He just trolled this round. I mean, yeah.
And they had Zen set up for the late round peak bomb like strat, which everyone does.
Yeah,
so
he
all
just
they had
wastes
to do was
time.
buy time.
Buy time.
Yeah.
By
And
time,
this is a round win for Boston. If
he
they played
jumped
it right.
at him, and then I think right here now Capsule feels the need to make a play because he died.
Yeah.
So Capsule's like, fuck, I'm gonna make a play. He dies, and then Hydra pieced him up. Bada
And
bing,
Hydra
bada
probably
boom.
wouldn't have stayed there much longer if time had started wasting
Right.
away. You know,
Right.
he wasn't going to hold that forever.
And right there, Boston could have won the map. We end up going around
Yeah.
11. Paco makes a play. New York go over to the offensive side, and next thing you know, Boston, you know, they let this one get away from them. I think New York did a good job. Clay did a good job this round. Hydra gets aggressive middle with Clay, and they get some pick up some kills. Tippable out of Clay and Hydra, making plays and clutching up for the map number 2.
Really mixy round 11. Just everybody just shot in the middle.
Yeah. Yeah, Zinni maybe needed some help this map. I know Zinni was clutching up, and you know, they just weren't able to pull this one through. But I think that me personally, that 4-5 round was massive. I think that they could have closed out the game there.
I think they know too. I think they know
They
threw
know.
it.
Yeah, they know. Nero probably knows. He's probably, I trolled right there. Like, it happens. I mean,
And that was a
every
big
player.
round, right? Go up 2-0. You're looking good. New York probably lose confidence.
Oh,
No
yeah.
telling how that Gavitu goes. So
Nah,
yeah.
if they go up 2-0, I could see Boston closing this out. So I'm sure Zinni and the Boston guys are kicking themselves for this loss today. I'm sure they are. And I feel like New York are still stressed out because it was you know.
hope.
You know, I still don't think they're comfortable right now. I still think they have some issues that they have to work. But we get into a Gavitu control. And again, just
I'm about to go get the pillow, bro.
you
Why
gotta
not go over this one?
you gotta go get the pillow.
Well, no, I mean, this one, the offense is
They
wonderful.
what? They
first
win
two
it.
rounds were cool,
They do
and
such
after
they
that-
they do such a good job just constantly stopping time. And Royalty was doing a fantastic job just getting on the point and he just kept finding his way onto that beat point and stopping the clock. So good plays out of Royalty. He was very selfless. He was very
I
selfless
think I
this
saw
series.
that he ended this map with like 9 objective ticks, and
Yeah.
Clay had like none. So he was just throwing his body at that point.
And that's what I like. Listen, Royalty didn't have the best stats, but it's cool to see him not giving a fuck about his stats and just throwing his life away and throwing his ass at the point. I mean, it shows that he's doing whatever he's got to do to get that W. And he was picking up kills here too. So good plays out of Royalty off this opening round. I definitely want to highlight that because it's not easy to get that beat point. I think New York did a good job working with each other and delaying that time, stopping that time. That's pretty much all you do is keep getting on the point, stop the time, and try and get kills. And if you get kills, you could stack. But then they ended up doing the same thing back. Boston, they do the same exact thing. They get the kills working through front. They have somebody top ring watching the crosses. I think you could get B as long as you have ring control and you have somebody watching your pinch. What do you guys think? You got top ring, you get a guy in the cross, you get people on the
ring
point.
is everything, right? Like,
Yeah, me too.
That's really all it comes down to. Is if the other team doesn't have ring control, then you have a chance. But if they have ring control, it's chalked.
And streaks are big too. Streaks are really big because that missile can help you out. If say you're on defense and all of a sudden they get a 4 and they're stacking a point and you have a missile in your back pocket to get them off of it. I mean, that's a big deal. I think.
Dude, have you seen a 2-piece glide bomb yet?
No, I think the
haven't
glide
either.
bombs move in slow motion, so it's
Yeah, bro, they're so slow.
They move in
I
slow
haven't seen
motion.
one
Like
two-piece.
nobody's gonna be like every pro team when they hear the glide, they're gonna separate, and I don't think anybody's gonna get two. I feel like it's rare, honestly, besides for this map, that you even see a lot of kills with the missiles because people just run inside or run in buildings depending on the map. But yeah, Boston was able to win this offense right back on them, and in my opinion, I was like, come on, New York, you win the offense, you do the hard part, you got to get a dub here. I'm obviously, I want to see New York get a series under their belt, and I'm pulling fucking teeth over here, pulling hair, because they win the first offense, and then they give it up, but what are you going to do?
There was an absolute snooze fest for 2 rounds.
Yeah, and then we get into the overtime, and it's Boston that are on the offensive side. And Boston do a good job here, man. They do a good job. They get the kills. They get A. You can see them working over by that ring control. I think Zinni does a good job right there, picking up the pinch. But things definitely got a little scary right here.
Do we know if there's any progress being made on getting the overtime rule fixed from kills to objective? Does anyone know?
Well, we were talking about that today in the watch party. There has to be something that's got to be done. There has to be.
Dan, you're in the chat, right? Any other pros in the chat that can kind of give us an update on if that's being discussed actively, if that's being worked on? Because I feel like that just needs to
Go
happen.
back, by the way,
ASAP.
Ben. Go back, because Crimsix won them this map. By the way, he won them this map. We gotta show this to reporter. But Ben, yeah, what's going on with that?
I don't know, to be honest. I'm the last person to ask.
It's ridiculous that we're counting kills for an overtime.
Yeah, that needs to be
have to
before
change
the major,
that,
bro. It's a simple fix. Like,
yeah, I don't think they're gonna do it before the major just because they've been playing on this. But after the major, I think they should definitely do it.
I feel like it's not even like a change that like you would have to practice for. It's just a logic thing, right? Like, just don't kill whore on your offense rounds. Like, try to fucking cap.
No, I agree. We'll see how it all plays out. And then every tick you get extra time and shit like that.
Yeah.
Just bring it back to the Cold War shit that they were doing in Cold War. But this got really, really scary for New York. They're very lucky. Let me ask you guys something. You think Capsule went a little rogue right here at the end when he was in this point? Do you think he fucked up here?
He just struggles on this map, period, because of his aggression. Like, I do think he went too rogue, but like, I feel like just he needs, in particular, just needs to slow down on this map, right? Like, play it more how like Pred and
look at this
Hydra
right
play,
here. Pause that. Do you think Capsule should be challenging that right there?
No.
I feel like with Porter Ring, Capsule they have over 2 ticks and he's halfway. He's almost there. Just stay down and just wait. Like make Krim have to either give up ring or turn around and play spawners. You know,
just hide in the tank. We see
just hide
all the time. Just literally sit in the tank.
Yeah, I think he trolled right there. I think Boston again. I think this is another map that could have went Boston's way, and luckily Crim6 was able to bail them out and hit really good shots. That's not an easy shot what Crim6 did over here at Ring to peel him out of this boat.
But the headshot multiplier is nuts.
No, it is
like,
nuts.
That's 2 bullets. Like,
yeah, it's 2 bullets. Yeah, and then he did a good job pushing out the cuts, and Porter continued to get kills here. I mean, he continued
he just fried this map. Period.
Yeah,
and this
fried.
is the map that I like we were talking about. In New York, like, why aren't they playing Gavatu and Berlin and maps like that? And why are you sticking to Tuscan and Bocage? It just makes no sense at all to me.
I don't know. Crim6 made a really good play, though. He ended up turning the fuck up here at the end. He peels Capsule off the hill right when Boston was about to cap it. He pushes out the cut, stays alive. He delays time for his team, and it allows New York to set up, hold those crossfires in the back, and close out this map. So a really good map for New York. It got sketchy, got a little mixy, but luckily with some individual plays and some good gunfights here and there, they were able to clutch it up. So New York, man, they stressing me out, like I said. They're giving me angina over here. They're stressing me out, but it is what it is. We go into a Tuscan hard point, and this is where Boston teased the fuck up, and they end up sending us to a last map. What do you guys think about this Tuscan hard point? Anything that caught your eye?
I mean, Boston has kind of pulled away in the second rotation, but I'm gonna grab my food real quick if you guys can hard carry for a sec.
What you got? What you got to eat? What you got to eat, Ben? What you got?
Just some finger food because I haven't eaten yet, and I don't want
some finger
food. What the hell was that?
All right, keep talking. I'm going to.
What's the name of the place?
City Tavern.
City Tavern. What the fuck is that?
Food.
No, finger food. I got wings. But yeah, we get into get back into the map. I think this was very back and forth. It was very back and forth, like usual. A lot of teams, but I feel like a lot of teams are struggling to hold hills, Pat. Just hold. Just like I feel like teams are struggling the whole time. I don't know if it's the game. I don't know if it's the maps. I don't know if it's the talent.
The game, because the speed, bro, at which you move, like that engagement right there, bro. Like someone's holding a corner and then he just slides in, pops, jumps back. Like
it's just
that's a tough fight. But
it's just like even right there, New York had a full setup on Church and they just get broken with ease. It's like how
instantly, yeah.
Like it's just like play your corners, hold your crossfires, and just work the kills. I don't understand how that happens. And you see so many people now doing what TJ's doing too, just finding gaps on this P5 and hitting these long routes. You see how TJ's going all the way around? Yeah. He made a really good play. Nobody's picking it up from New York either. Like they're not even worried about it.
Cell does it a lot too. And does
yeah,
really well.
FC does it for FaZe. I mean, everybody's doing it now. They take that long route, then they go all the way around. I also think people need to stop focusing on this P5 so heavy. Once there's like 15, 20 seconds on this, I feel like teams need to start focusing on that. Yeah, chalk it up and focus on that P1 rotation because you can lock down some time on that P1. If you get those cuts pushed down, you get the kills. That's a good play. Then, of course, here you see New York. Is this skipping? Oh, Ben's back. He's skipping it. I was like, who the fuck? I was like, there's a ghost. There's a fucking ghost controlling this shit.
I'm trying to skip to like the next couple of hills because I think this is kind of where it went south for New York.
Well, it was pretty much just back and forth the whole time. A lot of scrappy hills, a lot of back and forth. Teams struggle the whole time. This is the money hill, by the way. In my personal opinion, I think this back Fountain Hill is the money hill. I feel like this is where you can lock down some serious time. It's just that back head glitch that everybody plays. Everybody tries to get there as early as possible with the automaton and lock it down. It's really difficult to break. I feel like the only way to break it is to use your tax and use your teamwork and try and somehow get that guy out of that back header. You can see right now Zinni's already there.
And this is like really one of the only hills that funnels you to one like spot, right? Like you can really only hit that left lane, right? That's like the only lane you can really hit. So there's not many hills that are like that. More to give you that opportunity where you can just flood from anywhere. But yeah, I think this is why that's that money hill, is because you're funneling them into one, like where you're just sitting on a heady holding a lane, locking it down.
I feel like almost like unless you're going early enough, like going around the back is fugazi. You can go around the back if you're there super early you could do it. But other than that, learn some lineups, right? Just come to the front, learn some lineups, get this fucking guy out of this head glitch. There's no trophies or anything. So if you can learn lineups and coordinate nades and just get this guy out of here.
I mean, shit, you got 4 nades. Like, you should be able to hit one in hill and one on this heady almost every break.
The teams are definitely going to have to start coordinating some lineups for that head glitch, because you see people getting streaks there like it's nothing. Even Zinni here, he's just chilling over here. You get kill after kill.
Stress free.
Well, this is why they had a good chance on the next hill. Look at the play that TJ makes, right? 28 seconds. My team's going to hold on the back. If we lose, we lose. He's going to go ahead and hit. New York's going to get those field spawns, and they're going to commit at like 17 seconds here. You see that Clay's spawning, and he's already rotating. It's 20 seconds. I'm not going to hit field. I'm going to go all the way around the back. TJ's taking the deeper. His teammates are hitting old. They're going to end up getting this time, but that means that their other teammate number 3 is going to spawn over here, Hydra. And then look what happens. Look where the rest
took a shortcut too, thinking he
took a shortcut.
beat.
Yep. I mean TJ, because TJ got out so early. I just didn't think Clay expected that. Clay went to go get the cuts and get the spawners, and TJ got by nice and early. And you know what that's gonna do with the squad spawns? Boop, they're all gonna spawn right there, right on him. So really good play out of TJ. That's what TJ does. The fundamentals. He'll do that for you. And he does it very well. He's a smart player, so good long route of him.
That was kind of the swing moment, right? They got that dominant hell hold, and then they insta get spawns for the next hill. So kind of
you gotta have trust in your teammates, folks. Gotta have trust in your teammates. TJ had full trust in his team holding that last 20-30, and just decided to take a route and get those spawns for his team. So really good heads up play there. And then again, this is a good scenario for Boston. Even if they lose the back spawns when there's 30 seconds left, that's fine. Now you get some time, you make it scrappy, and you get spawns for next. You're good. There's nothing wrong with flooding through the front sometimes and flipping back out.
Well,
I
want to ask you guys about this play that New York just did. So they all kind of spawn.
What is it, 4-back church? What are they doing
there?
They
spawn P2, right? So this all goes down. There's a big 1v1 in the hill. Crimson to get the P2 spawn. He loses an absolute tough gunfight to Zin. But I didn't see everybody from New York, including number 1. They go to hit around the back. I mean, they do get those deep spawns.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
But you're
why do they all do it?
Somebody needs to go left and go top green. Go top radio. Like somebody needs to go left and come from top church.
You don't have to go top radio. Just fly inside door. Just make it mixy.
Yeah, with 30 seconds left, and you know you're not losing spawns. Like, why are you all hitting the back?
I mean, you're just making it easy for Boston. You're making it easy. They end up getting in there to get 15 seconds, but Boston has a cool lead, and they're getting early. They're getting there early today. So
this is the play I think that I also was going to talk about.
And then Paco's doing the same thing that TJ was doing, trying to go around.
I want to talk about this. So
they picked it up, Ben. They picked it up this time.
What do you guys think about this play? Right, New York. You have old time, so you really kind of have that whole half of the map. Their decision then for the rotation of next is to 3-hit around and go all the way around as a team. Do you guys think that's a good play?
No. Because this P5 isn't some money hill that you want to hit a long route on to try and lock down the spawns. Like, I feel like you could hold this from either side. Granted, one might be a little bit easier than the other, but Hydra also shouldn't have lost that. But yeah, no, I just think they do that one thing we talked about earlier. One guy going that long route pinch to spawn him out, and then they hit one side or even hit a little bit through middle. But yeah, that just made no sense at all.
Yeah, I don't mind them going around, just not all of them. I mean, there was one guy at old, and the rest of them went around. They all went around, and all Boston did was
it was obviously a play call, right? Because they didn't just all spawn on that rotation. They made that decision to go that way.
I think this is important right here. These fucking low stairs and fountain, like, I feel like you need to get control of that. You need to come through middle. Like maybe 2 guys come through middle, 1 guy go around, maybe top fire, and try and work some kills low. If you kill that 1 guy watching the staircase, you have the guy off old pinch, and then you have somebody taking a long route. It's just, they're not going to know what the fuck hit them. All you got to do at that point is just win some fights, and you're coming from every direction. So I don't really like to play either.
Mixy, bro.
Yeah, this hill's a joke. This hill is fucking trash.
I know we're nitpicking, but again, like, I think this comes down to just kind of.
I think it's overthinking it. I don't think it's nitpicking. I think they're just overthinking it.
Well, Hydra also goes in and he hits his old 15 seconds and he spawns his teammate there. And Clay's already rotated. He's been sitting there for 5 or 10 seconds. He's in a 1v2 playing a deep corner. Like, I just feel like they're just not being advantageous and playing their numbers in a lot of these situations and making the.
Wait, hold on. Why did Krim hit that with him?
Krim kind of just spawned there. We've seen this. We've seen a lot of.
I don't like that either.
But it's like 10 seconds, and your Clay's already rotated.
I mean,
like you're gonna let him get beat.
I don't think it's that bad of a play, Ben. I mean, you get you spawn right next to the hill. I mean, you can have them just rotate through mid, but it's also not a bad idea if you send somebody, get the kill and he pinches off of it. I mean, but for the most part, they should mostly be cutting towards Clay off spawn. I don't like both of them hitting it.
It's the Crim thing's a weird one because you have to take the shortcut through.
Yeah, I don't like both of them hitting it.
But I mean, like
Hydra should hit the hill.
You're not gonna get anything off hitting that regardless. Like
you had maybe
you're already down by 30. You have to have a perfect rotation.
Yeah.
So you just YOLO send Clay. He eventually loses it after getting a kill, and you lose the game.
If you get one person hitting 10 seconds to scrap, okay. If you got 2 people hitting 10 seconds to scrap,
agreed.
Like, that's a decision you make when the game isn't 230 to 190. Like you can maybe do that on the first rotation if it's close or you're blowing them out. But yeah, I mean you're down 40. Why would you make that play?
Yeah, no, I don't really agree with the play. I just think they make it too easy for Boston to just get that rotation and win the game. Then we get into a bow cage S&D for the last map. And
it's just the Hydra show.
It's a Hydra show. Hydra show. He had 17 kills to end this one, guys. I don't know for people who didn't get to see the matches today, but Hydra ended off 17-7. And that last round was tippable out of him. That last round was sick.
And Zinni had some good clutches. I actually thought Boston was going to win this originally. But then, it just became the Paco takeover.
Zinni clutched up 2 rounds in this map. Yeah. Back-to-back rounds. I'm pretty sure Zinni.
One was versus Paco.
One was versus Paco, yeah. It was back-to-back clutches from Tony, and he was the one keeping him in there. I mean, Tony's always, you got the 1v4 in Cold War, so he got a lot of clutches this year. Tony's a little clutch master in S&D. You got to give him some props here.
Can we talk about something for a second?
Hey, no problem. Sure.
Let's watch this and let me know what you think.
Okay.
All right, everybody does it, man. Can we just move on from this debate, please?
What? The aiming thing?
Yeah. Everybody does it. Everybody's trying to get info.
Wait. That has nothing to do with the debate. Like I said, I don't give a fuck if it's Cell, if it's Clay. If I sub in and do it, it's still a problem. Like it doesn't matter about who's doing it.
And I said the same thing. People think that I'm like defending MC all the time. I don't like when MC does that shit. I hate this shit. I think it's corny as fuck. The problem is his name gets dragged when multiple players do it. That's the only thing I used to comment on it. You know, obviously I don't.
The reason his name gets brought up so much is because he's just the best at doing shit like that. Like it's just how it is.
Yeah,
he's just really good at it. He's not the only one though.
Yeah, he's not the only one. Listen, I don't like it. I really don't like it. It's cheesy. I've been playing rank play, and dude, sometimes I'm just aiming at shit, and my aimer just gets dragged through walls, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? It's so weird, bro. It's so weird.
Yeah, but like that's fine, right? If that happens, where like you're just aiming and your aim assist gets
the swivel is
when
gonna.
You're just swiping, bro, like with no info. Come on, that shit's gotta go.
Yeah. Listen, I don't like it personally. People think I defend MC with it. I don't like it, but multiple people do it. So I don't know. What do you guys think is the solution? They either force a GA.
Bro, it's an easy fix. Like just tell players not to do it, and if they do, it's like. Fine, bro. It's to the point where it looks so bad from a product standpoint, right? Like when you have players on their POV on stream doing that shit intentionally, that's horrible for the game. And then you have the talent talking about it and like well aware of it, and they're discussing it. So obviously all the fans know what's happening. Like that's a problem for the product. So I can't believe that the CDO just hasn't or won't step in and just say like, look guys, this shit's got to stop. If this happens, you're gonna be fine.
I just feel like they can't fix it. There's got to be a way to. There has to be a way to fix it.
I think we talked about this before. I just wanted to bring up because I wanted to watch that spot. I will say though, the Zin's got the ice again in S&D. Wins back-to-back rounds. But after this, New York kind of takes off, led by Hydra.
Great round here.
17 for the W. Game 5.
This is a confidence play because he jumped at him with a pistol.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna win this, but Zin's obviously pretty icy in these S&Ds. He holds his L trigger. He's disciplined, and he goes ahead and he wins back-to-back clutches.
Yeah, back-to-back clutches out of Tony. I like the confidence he's playing with right now. You could tell Tony's feeling himself. He's not scared to challenge. He loves his team.
That's what it comes down to.
He loves his team. You could tell that he's super excited to play with these guys, and I definitely think Tony's just happy to be on a team. He was struggling in the beginning of the year to get on a team, and now he's on a team, and they're good, and Tony's good too. Tony's been playing really, really well, so to see the confidence out of him, and honestly, he's the one that's keeping Boston in with back-to-back clutches right now, so big props to Tony, man. He's been playing well and doing his thing, but the Hydra show was just too much. It was just way too much. And I don't even know where Paco was finding his kills half the time. He just kept finding kills.
He just goes rogue.
Going rogue, right? He was just doing whatever the fuck he wanted to do.
He just runs around and finds kills.
Yeah, he was making fucking plays. And I love that. I honestly, they had to let Paco do his thing. That they have to. Play around him. Play around him.
Which is interesting, right? Because they benched Neptune, and they're one of their biggest gripes was Neptune was doing his thing too much, right? He wasn't playing the way that they want him to play. But like Paco's kind of the opposite, right? Where you want Paco to play that way because he does this and then wins you series. So it's an interesting kind of logic that's happening in the NYSL camp. But that's why we'll look into episode 3 of No Pressure, narrated by Zoomaa, and we'll see what's going on there.
I like that. I haven't even narrated the third one yet. I don't know what the fuck's about to happen, so I'm excited for that too. But we'll see how that goes. What do you think it was with Paco? How do you think he was able to drop 17 kills? Do you think he's just finding timings and hitting gaps?
I think he kind of just said fuck it.
You think so?
He didn't want to lose this series, and he just kind of went rogue. Dude, he was just playing so aggressive in search and just winning every single gunfight.
Pure talent.
He's got that elite centering and that really good movement, and in sort of this whole side of the map, a lot of it is trying to give yourself an advantage in very tricky, weird timing 1v1 gunfights, and he's really good at that. So,
yep. And I definitely want to showcase that last round because Paco just. Dude,
that was absurd.
That was absurd. The last round was insane. If you wanna go before we move on to the next series and just show what fucking Paco was able to do, but this one went all the way down to the raw.
400 health, bro.
Yeah, right. It's like he didn't give a fuck, but I respect it. I like the confidence. And by the way, everybody fails this jump. I've watched 3 people fail that jump today. Capsule failed it. Standy failed it. Somebody else failed it.
The window got to be open?
First? No. You can jump on a ledge with the window being closed. You could like jump on the edge and you can like look through the cracks and kind of bust through it. It's actually a really good play. But good read out of Paco here. Really good read. He read Capsule right there. He read him when Capsule was busting through top, and then he just went rogue here. This was insane though. He makes a play, jumps down, and just beams Nero out of the window. I'm like, I was like, Jesus Christ, bro. And this guy just absolutely turned up. So good plays out of Paco. Good plays. You can see New York getting hyped, and they really needed that. You can see the smile on Porter's face. They finally won a match. And
speaking of Porter, I think Tom, we got to watch his interview.
Let's tune into the Porter interview. I'm down. We're gonna switch over. We're gonna put the volume up and let's get into it, bang. You guys are gonna love this shit. I don't know if this was an interview or what. I don't know what you want to call this shit, but are you playing
Porter vlog?
Oh, here we go.
Long Crim. About damn time we get you on one of these, man. You guys finally got the win this year. So
yep.
What's been going on, man, and how good do you feel to finally get this done?
Hold on one sec. Yo, shut up!
Is that Paco screaming?
God, man. No, talking about how bad we are in hardpoint. Like, obviously, we haven't won a single one. Don't laugh, Paco. Yo, Ann, what time is the worst time to die on rotation? Right?
I mean, it's got to be like 15. It's got to be like 15 seconds, 20 seconds. You got to stay alive.
No, that's acceptable. That's whatever. You know what I mean? But when you die at under 6 and you can't skip kill cam, Paco, do not talk to you.
Put Paco.
Bring Paco on screen. Bring Paco on screen right now. Here we go.
17.
He did hard.
I want to pause it for a second for anyone who's watching the audio version of this. Pat wrote on a whiteboard. It said "my son" with an arrow pointing right at Crim. And
that was a good arrow, right?
You got to say that
was a good arrow.
Yeah, but how am I outslaying this guy? He's 19 or 20. No, you're 20 now. 20. How am I outslaying you on boat cage? What's up with that, man? Yeah, he said he doesn't know.
All right.
Anyways, moving on. Let's actually start the interview.
Yeah, so Crim, man, it's finally good to see you on screen right now. A long time coming, you guys finally got your first win. Moving forward, what are things, since we haven't really been able to talk to you guys, that you really need to pick up on to be the team that you and Clay and Paco really believe you guys are? There we go.
Points.
At least one before the major.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Listen, Paco is clearly keeping you on Crim 6 with you hanging up there in the slaying power with him, dude. But it's got to be the rotations on hardpoint, right, man? You got to be with him.
I know. If I'm not rotating, it's not successful. Like, Paco, you're on scrap duty. You are on scrap duty. All right?
Yeah, Crim was hitting scrap with Paco.
Yeah, you hardpoints versus, you know, the, how do I say this? Lord of the Rings, Bilbo Baggins and Frodo. For those of you guys who don't know, that's Simp and Abizi, all right? My centering is going to be a little bit lower tomorrow, you know?
Dude, what is he on about? What is he talking about?
He's a fool. He's a fool.
Listen, you're playing pretty good today, Crim. I want to ask you, so a lot of people were wondering why you guys picked up Royalty instead of somebody from Challengers. So what was the thought process behind bringing in Royalty instead of an up-and-coming one?
Oh, okay. I thought that question was going a different direction. I'll actually answer that. Yeah, Matt has literally always been good, and he's never had a shot ever. So
hey,
we want to like give him a chance. Like, you know, game recognizes game, right? And we knew that, hey, we're probably going to start in losers, right? So we want to get someone that is going to like show up to this LAN, right, in a do or die situation and play well.
All right, so, another follow-up question. This is a hot one.
Okay.
Is Neptune potentially ever going to re-enter this roster?
Hey, yo.
Hard-hitting questions.
Like you said, bro, it potentially.
Okay.
Potentially.
All Matt to hear.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right,
by the way, nice shirt. Where'd you get that at, man?
Yo, this is fire, right? This is Zara right here. You like this nice shirt as well?
No, I think... I mean, I sort of like it, but it reminds me of something my dad would wear.
Well, here's the thing, Ian, like, when it comes to drip, like, I just don't think I should take advice from you, but it's all good, brother.
Hey.
The haircut's looking all right. Huh?
Yeah, dude, shout out Dyson, whatever.
Wait, do you cut your own hair, bro?
No, dude, what? I got Margaret at Supercuts do that. You already know.
Well, she's
got the burst fade.
Bro.
She's got the burst. Wait, did you call it a burst fade? I never heard of that before.
Yeah.
What's a burst?
What?
Come on.
What?
That's some super.
You got an M8 fade?
You guys got no drip.
You got an M8. You got an M8.
You better watch your mouth.
My guy's got an M8.
No, you don't come up and win your first game and talk about it.
Dude, what is going on here, dude?
Yeah. I've been holding in these thoughts for a while now. All right. No, but good job. You guys got a nice setup there. It looks very fancy.
Thank you, man. Hey, yo, Crim, I'm gonna leave this last segment up to you, man. The fans out there, they were starving for a victory. Y'all finally fed them. What do you got to say to them out there to get them hyped for the next match against some ATO and also the Optic Major? Excuse me.
What do I got to say?
Yeah,
Sorry, guys. I've been as you've seen. I've been speed skating in the Winter Olympics. Have you guys seen that guy, by the way? So I have not been here all the other matches. I was there at the kickoff. You know, shut down my...
He's a lunatic. He's fucking nuts.
This other BS. Tej, you are still my son. I brought you into this world, and I will take you out of it on, except on hardpoint. We can't fucking do that, guys. But other than that, Tej, GG's.
He's so stupid, bro.
Such a clown, bro.
That's all respect, man.
All right, that's gonna do it. Yeah, we're gonna lower this now. Good interview or whatever the fuck you want to call it out of fucking Ian Crim6 Porter. I don't know what you guys call that, but this guy is a clown. He is a personality though. He makes me laugh. He's a funny guy. This guy's a moron. What are you gonna do? Typical Porter stuff. Let's head over to the next series, Ben, if you don't mind. We got Minnesota Rokkr going up against the Los Angeles Guerrillas, and we had another banger of a series here. Let's go on with the vetoes. What are your initial thoughts, guys? Anything that crosses your eyes, that crosses your mind, that crosses your eyes? Anything that catches your eye?
Not really. I mean, still another Desert Siege ban out of.
We haven't seen that map in a while,
out
bro.
Of Rokkr, so I'm wondering if that's their perma ban. But yeah, I mean, this map set looks pretty good, pretty even for everyone. The Berlin kind of scared me at first, but obviously we saw a crazy comeback on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, pretty standard vetoes for them.
Yeah, his bow cage was typical, just mixy fest, mixy. I think it was a lot of back and forth. You know what I've been liking too on Reddit and stuff? Those graphs that people have been showing with the lines. You can kind of see who was leading and all. It's cool to see.
When it changes, yeah.
Yeah, it's cool to see how back and forth bow cage is.
Well, speaking of trends, I mean, I think this was sort of the big play on this map. LAG was up 30. They ended up getting broken by Minnesota, but LAG are going to make a go play. They're going to use Big P, aka Guns' streak here, and they're going to go ahead and get the last 30. And from there, it does get a little bit wild, but it was a good situation for LAG to not kind of totally squander the lead that they had building at that point during the map.
But I love how they make use of the streak. They wait till they got bottom brown control. They wait till somebody goes front. They had everything pushed out, and then they called the streak. They didn't panic and called it. He didn't panic. Big P didn't call the streak off spawn. They got pushed up into position, and they made use of their streaks. Sometimes you see teams just blow away their streaks. They just call missiles just to call fucking missiles, and nothing happens from it. They don't even use it. They don't coordinate anything around it. And I think Los Angeles Guerrillas did a great job right there coordinating that streak and getting into that hard point.
And was this one of the better hardpoint performances that we've seen this year? The one, like, obviously Pierce, not like total kills or engagements, but just overall performance. I think he did what, like 42 and like 25 or something.
He had a good map.
Something crazy.
He had a really good map. Him, bro, he's been playing really well. Big P's been playing well. Him and Asim have been like,
dude, Asim especially. If you would have told me that when this team made this roster that Asim was going to be like almost a lock for the second best and sometimes the best player on their team, I wouldn't have thought so, right? Like, especially from a consistent standpoint, he stepped it up a lot. He's been frying.
Well, it's just crazy because the first series he really struggled, and we were talking about his inconsistencies, and people were calling for his fucking head after one series, and I was like, okay. But ever since then, I mean, the last 3 or 4 series this guy's played, I mean, he's been popping off. Yeah, he's been doing his thing.
That last series.
Yeah, he did. He's just annoying, and even the maps where he isn't playing well, I mean, he's still applying pressure, and he's just annoying to play against. Like when you play against him, he's annoying.
Role, like on a lot of teams, like you normally have sort of your flex player, your air player, the ones that's sort of the early rotator, but he's one of the rare kind of sub players that's always sort of hitting those routes early, and like I think he has a very good awareness of when to take off. I noticed a lot on this map too, like especially on the P2s, he was like huge and just cutting off the guys coming field, getting that deep spawn. I just, as a player, Tom, like I know you play with him his rookie year in the league, like he's grown so much from that first year in terms of awareness and map IQ.
Yeah, and I think he just needs to stay at it now. Just keep with it. I mean, if he can keep doing this all year long, I mean, people are going to start giving him his credit. I think consistency has been his #1 problem, and I think that's what a lot of sub players really struggle with when they first come into the league, and they have a lot of talent. But he's been showing out. I think the consistency is starting to show now. And the last 3 or 4 series, he's been really having a really good game. So he's been playing well. And then on top of that, Hook's been feeding really well off of him. I feel like Hook's been getting into rhythm as well. He looks good on the map. Slasher's been playing a little bit, but I still want to see more from Slasher.
Also got some big kills, bro. The ending of this map was nuts. 37.
Yeah, this is I got a headache here.
Decide not to hit old. Interesting decision. This just ends up turning into an absolute mix fest. But LAG do have the back spawns, so they're able to kind of get control. And from there, they sort of hold out here. It does get a little bit of a back and forth in a sec once
Luke picks up the last kill here.
Minnesota kind of picks up all these cuts, but at the end of the day, LAG got the deep spawns, and they're able to go ahead and close this out in a 9-point fashion.
Yep. No, their hard point honestly has been really good. I think you know Slasher probably and Big P got these guys on lock. I feel like fundamentally they're playing pretty well. They're focusing on their rotations. It's bokeh, so there's only so much you could do. But super mixy, they stayed composed. They stayed ahead of rotation and were able to lock down that barn hill and close out the map. So good plays there out of them. But then we get into the S&D. And one thing about this S&D. Bro, can people start clearing out this A site before they plant the bomb? What is going on? People are planting the bomb with people playing corners in there. You got. I've seen it. How many rounds have we seen it today? Where
there's a lot of fucking corners in there.
There is a lot of fucking corners in that bomb site. There are. There's a lot of like. There's fucking the office, and then you have like the desk to the left. There's so many different like places you could stay and lay down. And there was also one round that Standy won against Hook when Hook was behind the desk and he popped up. I don't know how the hell Standy won that round. But you're right here. You see how Priest is kind of saying? I think Priest trolled right here too. Didn't Asim try to get the bomb down? And I think Priest went to go shoot him, and he kind of fucked up. But Minnesota did good this map. They're a really good S&D team. I think once Minnesota were able to take that respawn this series, that hard point, I had a feeling they were gonna take the last S&D.
I'm gonna be honest, Tom. I think LAG. My prediction was an LAG 3-1. I was feeling really good. About halfway through that Berlin hardpoint, I think LAG was up to a big lead on that map, and they mega tossed that map. And from there, You know, Minnesota is just such a good map 5 team. Like, to me, I think LEG kind of lost this series. I think Minnesota played fine and played well, but I think LEG had an opportunity to close this out, and you expect with the veteran presence they have on their team that they would do that. But
especially a team that's like 7-1 in hardpoint, right? Like,
yeah, 7-1 in hardpoint. What is it about Minnesota Rokkr that makes them so good at S&D? I just feel like they're so good at this game mode. It looks so easy to them, and I can't really put my finger on it. I don't know if it's just like the individual mindset of all these guys. They're just kind of S&D grown players, or if just as a team they're just they just work really well with each other.
You're asking about Minnesota?
Yep, Minnesota.
I think as a team, I think they're annoying, bro. Just annoying to play against.
They are really good at playing 2 styles of S&D because these are sort of natural S&D players. They can play a pick-based, info-based S&D, or they can hit stuff out as a team and kind of play off instinct and contact. Like, they've been so good at that game mode now for almost 18 to 24 months, regardless of the majority of the personnel on this team. Like, they've just been up there with the elite S&D squads. And on top of that, this year, like, they've had so many series go to game 5 and they've clutched up in those moments where the respawn hasn't been that strong. Like, candidly, like, Minnesota's still in a spot now, man. Like, they're 3-6 in hardpoint right now in Major 1. Like, they just, you're putting yourselves in really tough positions to kind of carry with the 2-3-5, and we haven't seen teams be a dominant team with that strat. So that's sort of my read on it.
Yeah, it's hard to be dominant with that strat, but you can get some wins.
Yeah. You can get some good placements. It's just not a consistent way to do it. You need to have at least two good game modes that you're good at, and like their control's not bad, but at the end of the day, they're gonna need to get better at hardpoint. Once again, it's a problem again for the squad.
I love seeing Dylan back out with the sniper too. I love seeing Dylan snipe or attach.
Well, that's what's weird, right? Because Priest is kind of a playmaker in search, but he's not in like
respawn.
I don't say he's not, but yeah, he's not. He's running a sub off the break in almost every S&D round and being aggressive, getting pushed up. But then in respawn, he wants to run an auto. That's kind of weird.
He's always been like that. He always loved running even in Black Ops 4.
He's always been like that.
He loves the ARs. He loves running ARs.
The auto is disgusting right now, but I think long term for this team,
I feel like they want to be good at hardpoint. They've
got a big decision that they're gonna have to make at some point if they can't figure out the respawn thing of like maybe you gotta swap roles with Attach and Priesta and put Dylan more in a third sub auto role and have Preston be more the second sub.
Well, then I'm curious because do you think that they're thinking right now in their camp that they can win this first major with how their respawn looks currently? Like, do you think they believe that and that's why they're sticking to that game plan? Because for me, I don't understand why they wouldn't just go ahead and make that swap and see how it plays out.
Well, they needed to win this series in order to guarantee winners bracket.
Well, regardless of winners or losers, I'm just saying in general.
So Dan in the chat said they already tried that role swap already. So there's your answer right there.
When in practice?
Probably in practice, maybe. Yeah, they tried it out in
one day and then went back. Like,
I
feel like that's something you have to commit to actually
here's the thing
make
is that
change.
Preston and Dylan are both very much more flex players than like.
Oh, for sure.
On each side, and so they've got a little bit of a template thing they're gonna have to solve long term with this team. But once again, like hardpoint is just. Their enigma that they're just struggling to solve over the course of the last like 18 months.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, but we've been talking about it, right? Like they continue to struggle in hardpoint, and we haven't seen them make that swap in an actual game. We all know that matches always play different than scrims, right? It'll always be the case. It never will be the same. So I don't know. I feel like it's just something that's worth trying in a real match or committing like a month to it in matches or a stage or whatever it's called.
Well, the schedule is pretty tight if you look at the website, so it's going to be hard to just like have 2 weeks off and just kind of go for it until the middle of the season.
It's not like a change that takes time to like. To me, like you said, these players are both natural flexes, so it would be a natural change for them in my head. Like I don't know. I feel like Dan said they gave it a week in practice. Like I mean that's not. I don't know. It's not something that you and then not use it in the.
Again,
yeah, I mean, I don't know. And then not use it in the actual matches? Is that a decent amount of time? And when was that? In the beginning of the game? Was that recent? Like,
I just think like personnel-wise, they've got to figure out how to make it work with the players they have, unless they're rotating someone out, which it doesn't seem to be their.
I don't think they should rotate
right now.
Out.
But like they've got a tough uphill battle. They couldn't really figure it out last year. Last year, the one event that they were good in hardpoint, they ended up winning that major. So it's like
was that that was like the 0-4 mega reverse.
Yeah,
right?
But they were really good at hardpoint at that event.
Like, yeah, but come on, an 0-4 mega reverse sweep. Like when is that? That's not like
a lot. But like again, to my point, like the one event where they figured out hardpoint. right outside that 1 week when they picked up Standy after going 0-3-0-3. Like they've been sort of mediocre or one of the bottom teams in that mode. So like it is the priority for them to figure out, I would assume, because their S&D is not bad. They've held their own in that game mode. Control, I just looked, they're currently 1-4 in Control, so that's obviously not that good either. The respawns, they really
It's respawn in general, they're bad in.
Yeah. The respawn in general, they've been struggling. I feel like their S&Ds, their bread and butter right now. And I mean, I was saying this 2-3 weeks ago. I mean, they really had to focus on their hard point. I mean, it's the same problems. They have the same problems right now. And I think
Dan said that was before Kickoff Classic, by the way. So I don't know how much weight we can really put into that, because I feel like the game, how teams are playing, has changed a lot from pre-Kickoff Classic to now.
Yeah. I think, I don't know. It could be a pacing thing. I would love to hear, I'm actually going to, if Dan wants to join, because he says he doesn't have the team speak, I'm actually going to DM him the info.
Maybe
but
DM just because I'm controlling VOD.
Yeah, I'll DM him. I'm just curious.
About it. But in the meantime, while Dan joins, we head over to Gavutu Control. I think LAG could have closed this round out a little bit earlier, especially I thought they were in a good chance on this round. And once again, I mean, Ace's been disgusting in Control so far in this stage. He had some amazing pieces on this map, and it's a little bit of a gruely Gavutu, but at the end of the day, LAG closed it out.
Kinda. I mean, it was 5 defensive wins. I mean, it was nobody could win an offense.
Absolute resident sleeper.
Hold on, you know what I want to say, and this is kind of off topic, but that New York team, if they would have kept ASIM paired with Hydra, I think they would actually be pretty fucking good.
I agree. I thought they were drunk when they got rid of ASIM. Drunk.
Like I feel like ASIM's kind of the role that they were wanting, right? Like
and Mac. I thought they were drunk when they got rid of Mac too. I was mind blown. They got rid of both of them.
You're bringing Krim in. I mean, it's kind of it's a tough combo, but I think ASIM was really the one that you kind of look at like he would have fit perfectly on that roster especially for what they're wanting from a player and how he's performing.
Here's the other thing with ASIM too. Here's the other thing with ASIM too, and then go Tom, is I know that he's a vocal player now, and you know Clay and Krim, and they're gonna say their piece in scrims.
User was moved to
and so I know that ASIM probably would have pushed back on them, and maybe there would have been some tension, but I think that camaraderie or that chemistry would have been probably a little bit better with them. But they made a decision, and now ASIM's teaming with a different set of veterans, and for New York, they're really struggling to find their way right now.
Somebody said ASIM wanted to team with Gunless. Well, Gunless could have came to New York if he wanted to. You know, they could have kept ASIM and brought Gunless on board
instead of Krim then, right? So Gunless, ASIM, Hydra, Clay.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been whatever, any combination you wanted it to be, or however they wanted it. But what do you guys think about?
I'm also sure ASIM would have stayed on New York. Like, it wasn't like I'm teaming with Gunless or leaving New York. It wasn't his option.
Yeah. What do you guys think?
You're saying he would have stayed?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. What do you guys think about the Clay Krim conversation? I know Enable was talking about it in his video, and I've seen some things on Reddit, and people were talking about it in my chat. But what do you guys think about the argument of Clay and Krim can't be playing on the same team right now?
Well, Clay's has got to be played better individually. That's step one, and then we can have a conversation.
I mean, I think it's tough, right? Let's be real. This is like the first time, and I'm not hating on Krim, whatever, but this is the first time in Krim's career where he hasn't really had multiple superstars on his team.
Yeah.
Right? Like he's had the godlike lineups for a long time. You look back at that Empire lineup, before that Optic, before that EG Cole, and this is the first time where he doesn't have that like multiples, superstar SMGs on his team. So and kind of Clay too. I mean, Clay got the first dose kind of last year on that New York team. But yeah, them being on the same team nowadays with how rosters are constructed and how much talent and really the style of game that we're playing, this super fast pace, SMG aggressive, Simpina, BZ, a bunch of SMG duos who play super fast. I don't know. I don't know if Clay and Krim can work together in 4v4 in this style COD. Now, if it was a different style of COD, I don't think we have this combo at all. Yeah. But in this style of COD, I think it's definitely a question to kind of be had because neither of them are at their peaks. Neither of them are what they. It's just how it is, right? They're not the superstars they once were. Yeah. But yeah, without them having like Simp and Abizi on their team, I don't know if they can team together.
Can we put a pin in this conversation?
Yeah, I was just gonna say. We'll talk about it. We'll move on. I wanted to introduce Dan to the show. Dan, what's going on, boys? How you been, kid? I haven't talked to you in a minute.
Yeah, just been vibing in Minnesota.
I feel you, bro. We got one of the coaches over from the Minnesota Rokkr, ladies and gentlemen, Looney. You guys all know Looney's a staple to the Call of Duty scene. He's been around for years and years and years. Dan, I wanted to talk to you because obviously we've been talking about your guys' hardpoint struggles, and I feel it'd be good to just get one of the coaches in here. What do you guys think is the main problem with you guys right now in the respawn game modes, in your honest opinion?
Well, before you answer real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is your practice the same as your matches? so we can kind of get an idea.
Like, are we winning scrims and not?
Yeah.
No. Like our scrims are usually like either you lose like the hard points or like we split them.
Okay.
About.
Yeah.
It's not like we're fucking like frying in scrims and then just come to a match and lose our head. Nah. I just think it's routes, Tom. Routes and like just like a little bit of like map awareness. We're like a little bit off on timings and things. So if you see like if someone had their gun up like 1 second earlier, probably get a kill. You know what I'm saying? Like just like where people are on the map and things like that. And I think the solution is, I mean, communication can obviously always solve it. Like calling out spawns consistently. Like I just think it's route taking right now. I think that's been a huge topic this last like week that we've been trying to.
It's a good point, Dan. I feel like routes is like the main thing, right? I feel like routes has always been a really big thing in hardpoint.
Just the timing, like the wrong guy's taking it at the wrong time. So then 2 people are fighting and like trying to break a hill while the other 2 aren't in the play yet.
Yeah.
So the routes are just not being taken.
Combined with the routes.
Yeah, exactly. Like 2 guys, like I said, are trying to fight a hill and then they die. So then it looks like it's a split push, what could have been a team push, but I just think that I guess you can accredit it to like pacing. I guess like how you're saying, but I just think that's something we have to just tackle.
Comms. Yeah, pacing and comms. I feel like are like the two main things. But yeah, maybe we were talking a little bit about the role swap and this and that. You said you guys worked on the role swap. You did the role swap for a week and it just wasn't working.
We tried it for about a week. It wasn't like more so working. I just think it was like more comfortability. Like I mean, I think Preston likes running a sub and like or an AR and a sub. I just think like with these maps too, like realistically on Bokage, I want him running like a full-time sub. You know what I'm saying? Like it's fucking Bokage, so he's running a sub anyways. And you saw at the tail end of that this Berlin, I was watching from his screen because obviously like it's delayed, so I just like sit behind him or whatever. And he just got to frying, and like I just instantly felt like his comfort, and he just knew where people were. And when he knows where people are, he's gonna fucking kill them. And like he was getting us a whole bunch of crucial 2 pieces. And I also think that he might have one of our better comms too.
Preston.
So yeah, Preston. So I think when he has an AR, as you know, like usually an AR plays like a slower type game.
Yeah.
And at the end of that game, I hope Rokkr releases it. I'm pretty sure we released it when we had the comeback. Like you'll see how calm, like how directive and how aware he was in those last moments to like make that comeback. Even Mike said, he's like, bro, Preston, the way you were calling out at the end of that game, I just knew we were gonna win.
Yeah, no, Preston gets into those rhythms. I mean, I played with Preston, so I know what he's like in game, and he always made me feel real comfortable. There's people have that aura to him, man. There's teammates that make me uncomfortable, and there's teammates that always made me feel comfortable, and he was one of the why you laughing? You didn't have any teammates that made you?
That was just funny. That's all.
There's teammates that I think Preston was.
Tom. So sorry to cut you off. So like,
no, you good.
I want to talk a little bit about this map instead of more general stuff. Like, Dan, I think from my perspective, and you can feel free to contest, I felt like there's a winnable map for LAG, and like it kind of started with this hill. 40 seconds left. There's obviously a mix going down in P2 spot, but I kind of took exception with how much this hill was white, even though they kept winning the chow over in hill over and over and over. Then they kept getting out of hill. They ended up kind of burning like 20, 30 seconds, and they didn't lose by that much in the end, and that time would have helped them a lot going to the end if they were able to get to 190.
I think this hill and like a Bokage P1, if we noticed, me and Brian, a minute in the very beginning of the hardpoint Bokage, they had a good side and they burnt a minute of the clock. Like it was like by the time P1 finished, there was only like 4 minutes left in the hardpoint clock. Those are just hills that like some teams just don't hop in, and that's why a Bokage can get scrappy. But we've seen a lot of teams. I think Ultra's a very good P5 team in this game.
Yeah.
Because you could get like a good setup for that hill. I just always tell my team, just throw bodies at the hill because the other team might not be doing that.
Yeah.
And like you can just make it scrappy. And then that's kind of what it seemed.
Just kind of playing.
Anyone can sit in that hill. Either like a sub, just go down there and just play your life, or an AR just finesse and like hold either your library chow or like your hallway chow. We call it ticket. I don't know.
Well, what do you think the big problem was for why you guys went down so big? Like, I mean, you're down 80 points, and we kind of talked about this before. When you're down that much, that's almost like
this is a crazy comeback.
Break off. I'm pretty sure we lost break off when we had the good side, and then we just like it's also been a talking point for us is just recovering and like trusting your rotation and your setup. Obviously, with squad spawns, it's a little different.
Yeah.
But especially when you play a team like LAG, like ASUM is gonna take that route to try to flip you out and things like that. I think it happened in I think it was the second P4 where Kyler got into our warehouse. These guys are route takers because they have Austin and Pierce, right, who think traditional COD like sneak to the back type thing. Yeah, I think we just struggled with just rotating and just trusting our setup and like hold the hill and funnel them through a certain situation.
Yeah,
makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense. I think this was one of the craziest comebacks we've seen in Vanguard. It's really, really hard. It's really difficult to come back when you're down. Me too. I thought it was done. And
I think right here in this P3 is one of those situations. I think the P3 looked like it was about to be good, and then Preston died in the back. Yeah. And then Austin blocked the spawn. And that was just one of those situations where like we just didn't know where everyone were. I think Preston thought that Austin might have snuck by him, so he turns around and then gets shot.
Yeah.
Well,
this P4 got a little mixy
stays alive here. He gets one and then he finesses. Again, little things matter. LG kind of sits at this 200 mark for a second. They're not really able to get like a substantial amount of time, and this is where they start to kind of troll a bit because you guys take good control of train side, and they end up kind of rotating this next hill and 3 stacking in P2, and that was kind of the start of the major part of this comeback.
Yeah, well,
right here, because you guys are getting the wide trade spawn. You're gonna watch number 7. Asim's getting there quick. He looks like he's P3 at this point, at least from the way
top 3. He's going top 3 right here.
Yeah, he's going
but the rest of his team, like, no one's going. Well, one guy goes straight, but then he goes back into P3, and now like I don't know what the thought process is here. We're not really doing much on the map.
Why do you say interesting, Dan? You're saying he should push through? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, a player like Asum, I for sure would have thought he would have taken like a fire route.
Yeah, like hit fire and just be annoying.
And Mike was kind of playing for it, but
yeah, Mike was here.
Yeah, and they just split the map where you're just fighting each other the opposite ways, I guess you can say.
Yeah, you can lock down a lot of time on his P5 hill, man. If you can funnel them into a spawn and you know where they're coming from, as long as everybody stays disciplined and doesn't push up too much. I mean, you can hold teams in, and there's really nowhere they can go.
I think we hold a good portion of this, the remainder of this P5, but I think Asum does pinch it out. I'm pretty sure we get the trade on Asum.
He pinches it out, I think. Yeah, it was a little mixy, but you guys were definitely soaking some time every hill and bringing it back slowly. You know, every hill you were just bringing back a little bit more. And you guys clutched up, man. You guys clutched up. It was a huge win for you guys.
Berlin.
Well, I mean, bro, once you guys won this map, I was like, okay, well, now Minnesota Rokkr took a respawn, and they go back into an S&D, and that's their bread and butter right now. I mean, you guys are a really good S&D team.
That's the second time that y'all have clutched up on a Berlin, right?
Yeah.
First
against Texas as well. Yeah. It's just one of those things where, like, we need to have that type of, like, play style. Like, you know how it is. Backs against the wall. You know you have to play tight, or you know you have to trade out. So towards the end of the game, when we realize that, we play our best, but like that's how we should be playing throughout the entire game.
Yeah.
That's just how it is with some teams.
Yeah, and then it was crazy too because I just felt like LAG, they were just getting swamped after that P5. I mean, they couldn't even get to this hill. I mean, you guys are piecing them up at this point. Dylan with a really good 2-piece right there because you guys ended up winning the trades there when Dylan won that 2-piece. So good play right there.
Them,
Attach went huge.
He said some things after that.
Yeah, they beat you to rotation. They beat you to rotation here, but you guys end up being the picks. Preston goes down to old.
Well, we make a call here, I think, to play for a flip, as you see. Like we like pressure to the right side, so we initiate a flip to just try to put the pressure on them.
Yeah. That was good plays all around. And Stanley made some plays here too. Stanley was finessing in here. He was picking up a lot of kills. It was good plays out of him. He was at 29 and 23. Everybody pulling weight, which is good to see. Nobody's struggling. Everybody calm and everybody's pulling weight. So yeah, it was a good map win for you guys. This is not easy to do, and you guys made it look easy. So Berlin Hardpoint might be your map, Dan. Might be your shit.
Was this? I mean, and I could go back and check, but was this your guys' pick or was it their pick?
No, we pick a Bokage because we're Team A.
You picked both. Okay, gotcha. Cool.
So it just defaults map 4 since 4 maps in a hard point.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's good that you know this is one of your guys' maps and it's not a map that you're picking. So
yeah.
And then we get into the S&D. Get into a Bokage S&D.
I knew it was over after that game 4, bro. I was like,
yeah,
there's no
me
way.
too. I had a feeling it was over too. I think once the respawn was taken away, I just had a feeling that Minnesota was gonna
honestly,
take the advantage.
Arguably, you can say this should have been a 6-0. Like it was 2-2, and we had first blood in the first 4 rounds. We like throw away our numbers.
Yeah, you were trolling. Big P and Slasher clutched up one round that you guys definitely should have.
Pierce clutched out the run before this, but this was a good play to Dylan to go and make this 2-2.
Yeah, no, you honestly, I felt like they kept you guys are just giving away your lives, just like solo challenge, just getting picked, just letting them make a play. I think once you guys just started making plays back on them and just kind of putting that gas pedal down back to them, like they couldn't really handle you guys.
Phil goes, I'm going rogue. I was like, oh god. That goes one of two ways.
Well, I mean, there's always an opportunity in a game where you can go rogue.
You got crazy timing, Tom, because like Slasher's watching middle and he gives it up to go get like Canal, go get B-side. If you watch how this goes down, Preston's gonna get kind of bullshitted here.
Yeah, he hit the wall. He hit the wall there.
But if you look, number 8's watching middle, so if he had jumped out a window while Austin was watching to see what had died.
Yeah, this is when Dylan jumps out and just sprints to the back of the base.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, his comm was, I'm going rogue. I was like, ah, damn. I'm going rogue in their base.
I like that, though. I like that. They definitely lost track of him and had no idea where he was. And Slasher, he ends up making a good play. He makes it a 1v1 situation. Comes down between him and Dill, and I think right here Dill just has the advantage. Also needs to get the bomb.
This credits, we knew that bomb was down on Kyler.
Yeah.
So this credits to watching kill cams and things like that.
Yeah, and plus it still makes a noise, right? When he picks up the bomb, it still says he picked up the bomb.
Yeah.
Which like, are they fixing that? Are they gonna fix that?
I'd hope so.
Are they gonna fix
that's free information.
all the issues that we got going on?
I think the main thing they gotta fix is the wall shit. Like how you can get random aim assists through walls and shit. Where people are doing like that shit is ridiculous. Like even when I'm playing ranked, it's really bad. Really
Can I
bad.
ask? Because obviously you guys have vetoed Desert Siege a majority of your matches in S&D. Is that why? Does that like that specific thing? Is that a thought process for you guys?
The auto aim thing. I mean, when we scrim it, like we've noticed that like we don't really abuse it. I think it's just like a comfort thing. I don't think it's like okay. I wouldn't nail it an auto veto.
Well, no, I'm sorry.
Because the times we vetoed it has been against like I think we vetoed against Atlanta, who's a very good Desert Siege, and we vetoed against London, who's also a very good Desert Siege. But
so my question was more: are you vetoing it because of that glitch, or is there other reasons?
I think it's more so other reasons. I don't think the players really mind like the auto aim thing. I mean, I'll get Preston instead. Preston's like it used to be like Cell's best friend, bro. I'll get him to start doing that.
He already is doing that shit. Is he not? Yeah. He's definitely doing it. I know P Dog's doing that shit.
When we scrimmed it, we kind of noticed like when we scrim it. I mean, we still scrim it, right?
Yeah,
like, a lot of your second set is you play the 4 S&D maps or whatever.
Yeah.
You get obviously reps on it, and like that's been an open conversation. Like, did y'all abuse that? Like, are people still doing it? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
so closing out this map, I thought this was probably the most egregious round that I watched in this map, because LAG are going to throw this 4v2. They had straight. Dylan gets a good nade kill.
Good nade. I think
the toss kind of happens.
We thought we had Kyler trapped there. That's why Preston sits there for like a good 30 seconds. He thought Kyler was still in this corner. That boy was off the scenery.
Yeah, I don't know how you guys are able to clutch this up. Well, after this round, it was over. I mean, didn't you guys mop him the last round too? Just wipe right through him in like 10 seconds.
I think it was the round before this. Oh no, it was the mid fight, right?
Yeah, the mid fight. You guys just hit mid and just took him down in like 10 seconds.
Instantly,
I was like, okay, the Minnesota just put them to bed.
And then we just ran at Pierce, right?
Yeah. This is really good plays. I like how this is played too, taking time. You don't need to rush anything. Just try and figure out where everybody is. But LAG's separated. They're separated.
I think we knew someone was tower. Preston saw someone tower, so that's the only person we really had information on. I'm pretty sure.
But LAG needs to group up here. LAG needs to group up.
Why are they playing some like spread 50-50 setup?
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing here. I don't know what they're doing.
Together.
It was literally the reason why we lost those 2 rounds was not for like running around together or just like playing off information.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what happened there, but you guys ended up just picking them one by one, and then once you get this bomb down, I mean, I feel like the advantage has completely flipped now. It was a 4v2, now it's a 2v2 with bomb down, and all you guys need to do is chill.
And they got no control.
No control. Yeah, there's nothing you can do here, especially when the bomb's on. There's so many different angles you can plan for. You can see it from the roof and see it from field, and it's tough. Good wins on the stairs too there too as well by Priest. He made really good plays.
P-Dog map 4 and map 5 were definitely, he was our closer for sure.
And people have been saying P-Dog's been like struggling in this and that, but I know P-Dog, man. I know what he's capable of. He's definitely
to his standards for sure. I mean, that's something
to his standards. I mean, that's what it is.
Him about just to get him a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah,
it's because he's looked at as a superstar, right? Like when he does have an off series, people are gonna think he's struggling, but like I think we all kind of know his ceiling is super high. So when he does play that way, it's like, damn, he took over.
Talking next steps here. I'm pretty sure, Dan, and I would have to 100% check if there's like a weird edge case that I think you guys are like 100% in the bracket for in winner's side.
From winners?
I think you guys are 100% are in. Bracket.
Well, then Joey's calculations are off.
They're crazy comebacks.
Nah, I think you're wrong on that. Because when they pulled up
like an edge scenario,
Ben versus Joey, who's right?
What would be the scenario in which you guys don't qualify?
What's up?
What would be the scenario in which you guys don't make it to winners?
I think right now we already don't sit in winners. As of right now, because Florida 3-0ing Seattle, I think bumped us down, and then I think in order for us, we would have had to 3-0 LAG or maybe 3-1.
Yeah, but Boston's.
But I could be wrong. That was off Joey's calculation, so I can just go roast Joe.
It's going to shuffle because it's hard to do right now because Optic and Boston are going to play each other. Whoever wins that is going to make it to winner's bracket 100%. And then if New York get trounced by FaZe, it trickles down in sort of the group tiebreakers. So I don't know. It's a little bit crazy because there's an opportunity for there to be like a 6-way.
We got an Easy Mac tweet. I'm pulling it up right now.
Paris, New York, LAG, and Florida are all chalked.
Yeah, Easy Mac said, pretty sure Paris, New York, LAG, and Florida are chalked for winners no matter the results tomorrow. Super confusing tiebreakers and honestly could be incorrect with some, but here is the best video I can make explaining it. And he tweeted a video.
Interesting.
So if you guys want to go to Easy Mac's Twitter and go check it out.
We were under the impression that we had to win through that 3-1.
That's weird. I definitely think you guys are gonna have to go and figure this out.
Yeah. Well,
you're gonna have to go figure it out for sure.
We don't have to figure it out. Math, right? So like, I don't know.
We don't have to figure it out. Esports Engine or whoever has to do that can figure it out.
CDL comp ops, brother.
Yeah, they can figure that out.
That ain't me, brother.
They always get confusing like this.
Other than Alex Penn and Spencer.
A bunch of people whose names I don't want to expose.
Gotcha. Are they like MLG people that we know, or is it a bunch of new people?
They're people you might know, but I don't want to like name
them. No. I just didn't know if it was like old MLG employees.
They're definitely people you know, Pat. I'll just
gotcha.
Well, listen, let's get into the next series. And Dan, you're more than welcome to stay with us if you want. If you want to leave, you can leave. Whatever you want to do. This was a crazy series. Toronto came out and took care of business first map, and then after that, it was the LA Thieves show. Definitely surprised that Toronto came out on boat cage and just mopped the floor. It's not often you see a blowout on boat cage.
I'm not surprised. I think this is the 2022 World Champions, as I've mentioned before, but I think they were coming with
You're riding with
fire.
That,
I don't know, Pat. They've been struggling. Optic looked like the better team yesterday, and they struggled today too.
They had the FA stabilizer.
I don't want to name the team, but there was a little bit of drama before this series, and I'll see if the Thieves want to expose what happened, but their warm-up situation wasn't ideal.
I know.
Wait, what happened?
Wait, hold on. What do you mean?
What happened?
Warm-ups were wrong for somebody?
I'm not. Listen, I'm not exposing, bro.
I think.
Wait, Ben, put it in the chat. We don't say it on stream, but put it in the chat.
We'll talk about it.
All right, chill. Kenny said chill. Don't say it. Whatever the fuck it is. I'm confused, so don't say it. But let's just talk about the match.
Kenny, I've been there, brother. Don't worry.
I'm so confused. Yeah, put it in the chat if you don't mind. I'm curious.
I'll put in the chat, but keep talking.
Yeah, I'm curious. But go ahead, Pat.
I don't think I was surprised. I think this was Bocage, and I think Ultra was going to come out with the fire after yesterday. And and Thieves are a good Bocage team, but I just think Ultra's got that aggression that Thieves don't in that sense. And I think they were just slaying really well. They were holding down hills, and Thieves were just in a in a tough spot.
No, I mean, yeah. You guys have like kind of talked about it. Like this map is kind of like a coin flip when it comes to, is it going to be a scrap fest, or is the team actually going to just be able to control it? And like teams are going to figure out how to like control this map better. It happens in scrims already. It's not always like day one, like week 1, week 2 of this game was like the time was running out every single time. But like now, like you see blowouts and things like that.
Yeah, because
it's not like to Pat's point, it's not that surprising, I guess.
No, I feel like teams are starting to get it now. People are starting to understand where to push out, how to hold, and shit like that. Like people are definitely locking down more time. We just saw Boston with a full 60 on a P5 on this map, so I definitely think teams are just getting better at the map. You know what I'm saying? Damn, what do you guys want on fucking covers? Ding, ding, bada bing, bing, bada bing, bong.
I didn't know. My bad. I don't have noises on.
Okay, no, ding, ding.
My bad. I don't have sound on.
But yeah, LA Thieves, the scrims were a little talked before this map, so maybe not warmed up all the way.
But I mean, that aside, like Toronto is very good on this map. I think Toby is disgusting on this map, and he just wreaks complete havoc. in the middle of the map. And, you know, like these bokages are going to be sometimes 50-50 against some of the top teams. And unfortunately, didn't break Thieves' way. They had a little bit of a slow start. Toronto kind of led this one wire to wire, and they ended up winning the first map.
Boy got pooped on this map, but he turned the fuck up the rest of the series. It happens. He got pooped on his map, but the rest of the series, he turned the fuck up, especially the Tuscan Hardpoint, the 4th map, he turned up. But it is what it is. You know, sometimes you're going to have maps like that. I just felt like everything was going right for Toronto on this map, too. Everything was going right. It felt like they were hitting their rotations. They were winning all their ones. I mean, they were making plays. They were making plays for sure. Cammy's looking like Cammy again, which is nice.
It was close. I mean, they didn't get like blown out in the rest of the map. So I think it was just one of those series where Thieves played well and clutched up. But yeah, I mean, this map one just kind of this to me is where Ultra's ceiling is, right? Like they are this type of team that can do maps like this, and they're a scary team when they're on and when they're all playing well.
Yeah,
which a lot of teams are. But
they've had most of the hardpoint blowouts, mostly on Berlin. But I mean, on this map too, like they've been. Listen, like I agree with you. They're just a force sometimes to respawn.
170 to 50. Like I don't think I've actually. Hold on. I actually don't think I've seen that in a scrim.
Thieves, right? This isn't New York or Paris. This is the Thieves. This is a good team.
But I actually don't think I've seen this scoreline in scrims.
I mean, dude, it's this map's over at this point. You're basically like, if you're Thieves, you're like, all right.
This is chalk, bro. If it's 270 on boat cage, it's over. Like it's there's nothing you can do about it. The fact
Tom, it's never chalk, brother.
Wait,
no, this is chalk.
On boat cage, it is.
On boat cage, this is chalked, bro. Chalk. If you have a lead,
we're gonna say that, and then someone on the land's gonna make like 100 point.
Okay,
yo,
I
will be mind blown.
I'll bet 100, Ben. Open bet right now on stream. If someone makes a freaking 200, so they haven't hit triple digits yet.
No, I'm not making it 2, but I'll say that someone
like that.
Make like a.
He's backing Dan. He's backing away now, Dan. You see this shit, Dan?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh, come on.
There's nothing to you now, Ben.
Tom, I'm a little upset you didn't take my side here and you're siding with Dan.
Well, listen, can it happen? Sure, it can happen, Ben. There could be a comeback.
Hey, listen, Ben.
Is it hard? Yeah.
I literally bet there would never be a 1v5, and I'm the one that did it and cost myself cash. So, you know.
Yeah,
anything is possible.
I definitely anything's possible for sure, but I just feel like how mixy boat cage is, like no pro team is gonna let that happen. They'll take a route or do whatever they gotta do to get the dub. But Kleenex and Cammy were all over the fucking map. These guys. Kleenex's POV is so fun to watch. By the way, he's a fun POV to watch.
He's a menace.
He's smooth though. His POV's smooth. He moves around like Paco almost. Him and Paco are really smooth. Like when they slide around and shit. I can't really explain it. It's very elegant. But let's keep it going.
It's still out sliding.
Let's get into the Tuscan S&D, and this is where LA Thieves really started to kick up. Really like that one clutch with Sam with the snipe. I don't know what it is, but I love seeing Sam with the snipe. I feel like Sam's one of the best snipers in the game. I'm gonna give him some gas. I'm gonna give him some gas for sure.
I would love to know the sniper stats because I think he's got to be up there top too in terms of like.
He looks the most comfortable with it. He looks the most comfortable with it to me. When I watch Sam snipe with it, he
uses it every round.
Which is interesting, right? Because he got a ton of flack for sniping in World War II on that optic team, right? Kind of the way they played.
Yeah.
And obviously it's a completely different game, but I think he is a talented sniper, but it just kind of comes down to, you know, the comfortability of the team he's on and how they want to play with that sniper.
I mean, you just got to think, bro. If you look at that off the roster, like, when he had a sniper, like, who's making a play?
Yeah, nobody, right.
Then he's metal boots, waiting for a pick. He's waiting for a pick with a sniper, so it's just like Krim and Seth go.
That's what I'm saying. It really comes down to just being comfortable with the team you're on to be able to like 100%. Really excel as a sniper.
I agree with you.
Yeah, this was an interesting play. Kleenex on the retake. They tried to insta hop the bomb. I know what they were trying to do. I just felt like they didn't have enough information to do that. You know, they were missing a lot of guys. It wasn't like there was just one guy up top.
Map, then you do it.
Yeah, like I saw what they were trying to do, but it ended up biting him in the ass. He gets shot off the bomb, and Kenny and Druzza get some kills, and they play their time. Cammy maybe could have clutched it here, but these fucking windows. You can't get through the fucking windows.
Wait, hold on, chat. In World War II, Zin was metal boots.
Yeah,
now he probably picked up the pace, but I have a clip to show he's metal boots.
Oh, not the clips, not the receipts. He's got the receipts.
Zin, I've shown Zin that, and he knows what I'm talking about. That was a metal boots clutch right there.
Oh,
listen, we do got tips in World War II though. He won a couple of events, I believe.
Won a couple. He won one.
He won one event.
He won one, and you know he went out real sad at the.
He won one.
At the big one.
And by the way, I want to tip Zin. He did have the best rotational KD in that game, so you know.
Rotational KD? We were tracking that stat in World War II?
Yeah, people were tracking that stat in World War II.
The rotational KD. I don't remember that one.
Rotational KD.
Zen was a nice safety blanket on rotation for teams.
I mean, I'm sure he was. They played force 99% of the time, and you rotated to cabin wall 99% of the hills. So that makes
but he's getting those kills though, or he's going to back tank. Like he's holding down the power positions and getting those kills, not getting gunned.
This map was really back and forth. LA Thieves clutched up this map, didn't they? They went big this map. They clutched this up.
Pull up 2 rounds or pull up the 8th round.
Hey, pull up a couple rounds. Let's break some shit down.
That's what I was saying. It was a loss, and it was well played by the Thieves. But overall, I'm still kind of happy with how the Ultra played.
Yo, Sam, the collide right there. Almost had a collide.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That would have been sick if he hit that. That would have been sick. See, a lot of people starting to work towards this B site more too in S&D. I know it's a lot of A on Tuscan.
Yeah, in the mid round.
Mid round. I feel like you can ankle break on Tuscan, right? I feel like you could play some mind games.
It does have ankle break potential for sure.
Because you just through through top church, you could just run right across. You know, like if you're here, you just cut right through the middle and you're good. You know, you're right back. Like make some noise, get a kill, maybe dip back. Like there's so many different things you can do. I definitely think some mind games are gonna start coming into play. Because everybody in the beginning of the game, Dan, all people did was rush plan A. That's all people did.
I mean, it's just you know if that bomb is just given to you, you're gonna take it, you know, Tom.
Listen, Dan, you know me. I'm Mr. Plan. Get that fucking bomb down. Get it down any
100%.
chance you can get. This was a really good round from Sam.
This is a great round from Sam.
Love this round. Straight fucking confidence. This is big fucking balls out of Sam. That's what it is. Big balls.
The back pocket
Cammy tagged him. Cammy tagged him up too. He tagged him. He was weak. He was weak when he challenged that.
Sniper,
but he's wide shot with a sniper. You gotta hit that shot
if he misses a shot, he's dead. Then he's gotta hit the shot. You see Draws. I wonder what Draws is saying after all these rounds. Whenever he's laughing and trolling.
Holy shit! Fuck it then.
I would love to hear. I wish we could hear what they were saying. I would love to hear.
Every time I think of Draws, I just think fuck it then, bro. I'm like, fuck it then.
Zach is fucking hilarious.
Sam, just chow him.
I think Zach is like one of the funniest pros right now, in my personal opinion.
The funny part is when me and Cap team with Sam back in AW, bro, we're just like, dude, you're just so bad at S&D. I'd rather you just chow somebody, bro. Just fucking go. We used to tell him on Detroit, just jump up to top P1 and chow anything the fuck you want.
Yeah.
So that's probably what it was. Like, listen, bro, I'm just gonna chow this guy.
Oh, dude, whenever my teammates told me to chow whatever I wanted, that's where I was at my best. That's when you're at your cuts, when you're just confident, bro. And when you know that your teammates have confidence in you and they don't care what you do on a map, that's when you play your best.
That's a bit of an interesting strat from Toronto. I wonder if they're just throwing nades off middle.
I didn't like the Cammy snipe 4 or 5 on defense. Yeah. I didn't like this.
Yeah, I don't
know.
Church.
Bottom church, and I don't know.
To your channel.
I don't know if he was doing it because Octane was popping off and he was trying to counter it.
I mean, the thing is too, it's just like usually when you snipe like P1 side, I guess, like field side.
Yeah.
You're just trying to switch it up, trying to find like an unorthodox pick.
I got attached with the resub saying chow that Tommy. See, Dylan always had faith in me. He didn't give a fuck. Hey, do whatever you want to do. You know, Dylan had trust. That's my fucking guy right there. Good fucking win today, Dylan. That's what I'm fucking talking about. I had my two brothers. I had Asim and Dylan playing each other today. I didn't know what the fuck who to root for, bro. It was tough for me to watch today, man. It's tough.
This is an odd round. This is an odd round. The first gunfight that goes down is all the way
on the flank.
Yeah, it's odd.
And then there's a reflank.
And it happens at 30 seconds in.
Hey guys.
Hey Tony, welcome to the flank, Tony. Tony, Anthony Zini, what's going on?
I'm fucking down horrendous.
I know what happened. You guys got shit on today.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Just like dude. We're just like the throw maps.
Slap him in the back there, Tom.
I'm busting his balls. He knows that. You guys trolled a little bit, Tony. Honestly, you guys should have won the series.
A little bit.
You guys made mistakes.
It was a full-blown troll.
Okay, yeah. I was trying to be nice. Everybody want to be nice. You guys trolled like crazy.
Yeah, I picked us to win as well. It was an impressive one.
Wait. Actually, hold on. I know we're in the Thieves Ultra game, but I gotta get your thoughts. That narrow play in that 3v2 or 3v3 bomb plant situation.
Yeah, what did you think about that? You think that was a troll right there?
Jesus, why are you putting him on the spot?
Well, because we brought
I'm not throwing teammates under the bus, but we got to utilize some tax there.
But you think that came down to tax, or was that just? Well, no. My question was was that a miscommunication? Because it looked like you guys were playing for that like.
Listen, man. All I know is I'm top fire. I take
That's
the
what I'm saying.
over.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
you were top fire. 40 seconds left.
Was
that the play though to stall time?
But no, I mean, listen, there were mistakes in both searches and the control. The hard points are pretty good.
He's pretty good. What I'm saying was the play call in that specific round to buy time for you to clutch.
I mean,
that should always be the play call.
I'm not sure about the exact play call, but we did not call for that play to happen.
Okay.
Us.
Let's
Like,
talk.
we didn't say hit out their side.
Let's talk about the
Let's talk about this
Real quick,
series.
I'm sorry, I just want to read one comment. Zinni joins, I leave. We don't give a single fuck, buddy. Catch you later.
Yeah, later, brother. Have a good night.
I love having Zinni on.
We don't give a single fuck about you, boss. Get the fuck out of here.
It's like that Stephen A. clip. We don't care.
Yeah, we don't give a fuck. See you, bud.
No, we love having you on, Zinni. I think you had a good vibe to the show.
New York played well. We threw a little bit, but I think every match today was crazy. Like,
Yeah, it was a crazy match today.
Bro. You can go ahead and say Hydra played well.
Yeah,
you can go ahead and say it, bro.
he fried game. I mean,
Paco
obviously he fried.
super fried.
He fried the whole series.
He fried pretty much.
Let's get back into this match. Tony, stay with us. We're gonna talk about this Toronto Thieves match.
We got 3v3 here.
Toronto's basically got them kind of pinched and they lose this round. So I'm very curious how this went down. Envoy kills inside off a bomb. The inside kind of like sneak up to the box, try and get an angle. Yeah, it looks like
he was there the whole round. Playing Frey.
Bro, by the way, Benjamin Bance is a playmaker. He's always doing something. He's always hitting a route, always finding a gap. It's what he does. Unfortunately, this is why I don't like Cammy with the snipe. I mean, I think Cammy's a great sniper. He missed shots right there. It is what it is. People are going to miss shots. But that's what happens when the bomb's down. You have to retake it, and you have a sniper in your hand. You're left in situations like that, you know, where you're not really working for picks. People are just moving and sliding around in the middle of the map, and there's nothing you can do about it. You know, and they know that too. If they know he has a sniper, they're gonna play to their advantage. You know, so I just didn't like it. I like sniping I like sniping if it's early in the map. You could kind of figure out the pace a little bit and see if you get picks with it. And then midway, halfway through, if it's not working, put that shit away. And if it's end game, like I do not agree with the sniper in a 4 or 5 round personally. I don't know if you guys agree. I don't know.
Yeah, and it's
I mean,
something
for me,
we
if he
haven't
hits
seen
that
Ultra
shot,
do, right? Too, like that's not something that's accustomed to them. So I think that was a kind of response to Sam sniping and doing so well. That's not a normal Ultra strat.
Yeah, but we get into the Tuscan control. Another Tuscan. I like watching this a lot better than Gabit too. I'm gonna be honest with you. Tuscan control to me is.
Well, people are starting to win O's on Tuscan.
Consistently, right? What are the stats like Ben on that? Are people winning?
Getting in the mid 30s? Like I wouldn't be surprised.
It's not
if
bad.
Major 1 goes that we might.
Hear me out.
40s.
Can we talk about how we have 2 control maps?
Yeah, that's pathetic. That's pathetic.
Hold on. Let's just remove Gavitu until we get a third map.
No, the problem.
Just play Tuscan every time.
No, the thing with
do you
Tuscan,
remember where we were gonna play like CTF Gunrunner only?
This map got crazy. Like as soon as Ultra, I mean, I don't want to skip ahead, but in one of the later rounds when Ultra capped B first, I was like, holy shit, this is pretty much a round win, and then they ended up Thieves
losing
ended up
it.
up, but...
Well, first off, it starts off with a couple back-to-back O wins, so okay. I mean, fair
We've seen that before, though.
Yeah, we've seen that.
In one of our matches, I think it happened.
This is a weird one where like the lives are drained pretty quick here. Toronto are going to kind of work out the picks as we'll watch the end of this. They'll end up winning that round. And then we'll get to round 2 and Thieves will respond back with an offense.
This guy Kenny saw all 4 got 3 guys cross, 1 guy to his right. The guy probably shit his pants. Holy fuck. They're all sitting in the back. Toronto gets some kills, Church. People do that, right, Dan? I feel like that's like what majority of teams are doing right now. They work Church, they get kills, and they cut through.
Yeah, what you don't want to do is funnel your way through P5 because then once a team figures that out, you're just walking into a blend setup.
Yeah, and it's just hard to kind of push to the back too if people are playing on that back tank. Like it's pretty easy to mow people down back there, and there's a lot of corners, a lot of crossfires. Going around the back is
tacticals. It's for sure hard to flush that dude out.
Yeah. Toronto though, I really loved it on that round how they waited for each other. Super patient. They didn't do anything stupid. They didn't solo chow. They didn't peek anything. They sat in fucking corners. Nobody moved until Cammy came off spawn and regrouped with them, and they all pushed as a team.
They do a good job of that. And the thing is they even do that in scrims where you like, you know how control can play different from scrims to like matches or whatever. Like even in scrims, when they cap A, like. And it's like a they know they're gonna try to win off lives and things like that just because they burn so many lives. They do a good job of making sure they're not getting repinched and they slow it down for sure.
Yo, did you say you'll get a tattoo of Breach on your ass if we win 3-0 versus Optic?
No, I said I'd get a tat of Zen City.
So if we 3-0 Optic, you're gonna get Zen City tat on your ass.
I said I wasn't gonna do it, but I said there was no chance that you guys would 3-0 Optic.
Oh, thanks for your support.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see you 3-0ing Optic.
We appreciate it.
That's tough.
Let's see. It's a battle of the green tomorrow, so we'll see how it goes. It's gonna be a good match. Let's get back into this one though. Back onto the offense. I think it was Benjamin Bance who was trying to make the plays. Bro, he almost did this shit. He got two, and then he got one here and stayed alive.
kills.
No, if he would have jumped down here and got this kill right here, if he would have killed him, he could have clutched that. 1v2, he has the advantage on defense.
Stuck on that door, he wins that. Like he would have got in a little bit. Like the timing would have been a little different. Yeah. But that's my 2022 World Championship MVP right there. So.
Ban's your MVP. I like that.
Yeah.
That's a good MVP right there.
Do you remember that series that they played FaZe in a final and he had like a 1.4 and they won?
Yeah.
And got MVP?
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the same thing.
Bro, does Ben have like one of like the craziest like turnaround careers?
It's
Like
gotta be
ever?
up
I think
there.
up
mean,
there
he
with
was-
Crowder, right?
Bro, I was talking to Ben like at Miami, right?
Well, when you say
And,
turnaround, what do you mean though?
well, hold on.
Like
almost didn't get picked up.
So at Black Ops 4 at Miami at CWL Finals, like I was talking to Ben, and Ben at that point had played a little bit of amateur bracket. Like he was just sort of taking a seat. He was asking me like, hey, like, you know, what's going on next season? Like obviously I don't really want to talk about like franchising and all that stuff. And like he wasn't attached to a team at that point.
Yeah, I remember you talking about retiring.
To go from that.
That's when he played with like Celtics or whatever for like Black Ops 4 champs when they absolutely choked.
Yeah, they did troll. But, you know, going from that to being very much an important piece and a vocal leader of this Toronto team that won an event last year. I mean, I agree with you. That's got to be one of the all-time turnarounds we've seen from a player.
I mean, he even said it like in that stage 2 last year that he was planning on retiring, and now like his average placing is dead ass fucking 2.
That's
like,
awesome.
But I think that like obviously
and like
his
personal
happened,
performance is fucking absurd.
But I think it's all about
He got a better
opportunity,
team,
right?
too. He got a
There's
better
lot
team.
of players, who don't get that opportunity, and as soon as they do, they excel in that moment. I think he's one player that's just excelled in that moment. He took full advantage on being on a good team, and
100%
is taking full advantage of it.
Bro, we'll get back to the map though.
We got to talk about the end of this, Ben.
So Toronto is going to go back and watch this map and the next map and be like, we got
trolled.
zero.
Pause this right here.
Kleenex
trolled right here.
Yeah, it's a good stun by him. If he holds like just a close corner and makes him overextend, the round's over.
Yeah, just let him.
I'm not sure if the communication was there. I mean, they're.
But it was so weird because that Benz came in and did the same shit. So they get a bunch of kills. Kleenex, he ends up challenging. Just let it play out. Kleenex, he ends up going rogue right here. Just hold the cross instead. He doesn't even have his gun up. He doesn't have his gun up. He's just running.
He's looking like narrow on the map.
Well, here's my thought process. This all
both did the same shit.
This all happened very quick. So Insight gets a pick and then gets traded by Kenny right as Kleenex challenges, right? So he's not really going to kill the guy behind the planter. And I think he gets kind of unlucky because if he had peeked his quarter and traded Ken and then dipped back right, like and gotten away from Envoy, they had a guy coming through middle Bance. They had some reinforcements. They might get the trades. Instead, he kind of sprints out on wide challenge, and then it's a sort of a 2v3 situation.
And even right here, Ben can salvage it. He gets 2. He should hold. Just keep holding. Just hold an L trigger. Like, hold the cross. I don't think he expected another one. Maybe he just didn't realize the timing's right there.
I don't think he knew how close Sam was.
Yeah, he just didn't know.
But still, I mean, even if he's not there, like, I feel like you're still at the exact same, advantage being in that spot or being where he was trying to go. So to me, it didn't matter if he knew. It was just a risky play regardless.
Yep. And then after that, LA Thieves was able to close this out. I mean, Envoy was all over the map. Envoy played really
risky, bro. LA Thieves having 3 on point like this when they Ultra
turtled heavy. They turtled super heavy.
Especially with Ultra off spawn should have all their fucking tacticals, 8 stuns or 4 stuns, 4 nades. Like,
yeah.
Oh, that's actually wild.
They also won every fight. Yeah, they won every single fight.
I don't think they threw one though. I don't think they threw a single tactical. Not one thing is blowing up near point right now.
Yeah,
I got to tip Ken too. Ken also picked a really good spot. I mean, it's a pretty common spot, but he played the right spot.
Like higher.
So he wants to pinch here and guarantee gets a kill because, if they pinch, then this gets a little bit more mixy. But they get all 4 kills, and from there, like this is a tough spot. If you're Toronto trying to break through a little bit of the spawn trap, they try to go around. Doesn't really work out. And LAT, the rare give up B and hold the A point win on control. I don't think we've seen that really at all this year.
No, not really.
Defense.
We saw it once.
Offense is just so punishing, right? Like once you get your opportunities, right, you have to capitalize. And if you fail, like what happened here, like they had lives and they had 2 ticks, but it's kind of like us versus today on Gavin 2 versus New York, right? Like you just get killed once, you're spawning so deep, the clock's against you. There's a full setup. Like defense is so, I guess punishing.
Yeah.
If you fuck up your offensive rounds when you have a decent position.
Dude, Zach is fucking draws us comedy every time they win a map. He's fucking. I just feel like he's spitting some fugazi. He's saying something, and I don't know what it is.
Comes. Stack the point. Stack the point. Heard that? That's a point.
But then we get it to the Tuscan. It was Tuscan, right? Yeah, we didn't get it to the fucking. Then we get it. We get it fucking Tuscan once again, ladies and gentlemen. We'll fucking right back to where we started. And right here was the Envoy show. He was making plays. This was a map where he was just hitting rounds, popping pieces. Now? Did he? I don't know. Yeah, I just know he was fucking frying.
He got an overkill, so yeah, and they yelled that overkill.
Okay. Good plays though. Good plays out of Envoy. I think LA Thieves did a good job just doing the fundamentals right in this map. I think they worked well in their breaks. The communication. Could we go into the LA Thieves listening? Because it was fucking phenomenal.
I tweeted this, bro.
One of the best listenings I ever heard.
I shed a tear hearing Sam call out like that, bro.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that.
Wait, hold on. We gotta listen to this because this listening was fire.
Something like that from Sam.
Kenny, you still in the chat? Was this a new occurrence, or is this something Sam's been working on?
Here we're gonna tune in and let's see how they sound.
I'm going I'll get time for you. Post absolute. I got time. Go. Nice challenge. Top blue camp first guy. Wait, I'm in. Dead. Last two left. Play your lives. Let us get there. I have the cross. He's already close. I stunned it. Yeah. They're detonated multiple. I'm nading him. Window. Shit on. Nice, good shit. Could flip. No, they're here. I'm coming. Inside weak. Play close. He's like, get nades for him. Yeah, I got you. I'm on their side. Cammy dead. Cammy full health, right side. Back right premium in the door. Back right premium in the door. I got a nade for you. Damien is old. He's that old. We're missing Ben. Back right dead. One shot. I'm missing Ben. Go. I'm one shot. I'm already Ivy. We flipping or what? No, I don't think so. No, old. Okay. I'm there from window. I have all their side of the hill. Okay, I have all of their side of the hill. Yo, I can't get it. You're good. I have it right now. I can call it. I still have all their side of the hill. I'm filling mid. I'm filling mid. Stay plus. I give a pinch. Weak. Absolute. Mid left second. Their side last. Ivy side last. Ivy. Weak. I need over. I'm getting it. I hit on it.
Snakes there. Great snakes. Love that, Zach. Love that. Good play.
I don't know how he's not dead.
On second. There you. Alright, I'm just living. Get nades if we can. He's on satchel. I'm gonna nade over for you. Hitting you, are you? I nade over for you. Both our side challenge you. Yeah, reset, guys. Reset. I'll try after that.
Good call out from Sam.
Yeah. Are you kidding? Absolutely you.
I
have their mid. I'm looking at your P5 on me. Inside. Sam. Help them, Sam. Oh, you. Mid. Sammy, really weak. What's there, you too? Top below me. I hate you. What's there, you? What can I get 2 P5 for? Okay. Missing one. Cam. I have time. Leave. I don't think he's in the back. Missing Cam. Short. I'm gonna flip.
Okay, so the one thing I wanna note though, just the one important thing that I wanna know, because some people are in the chat like, it's just average comms. I don't get it. It's honestly just the name calling and counting and just making sure they're not
what they have.
They're calling out what they have. They're calling out who they're missing, where they're going, what to look at, when to nade, when to throw your tap. I mean, they're calling everything out, and all 4 of them are talking. All 4 of them. So it's just a really good listening, really good fucking listening.
The most necessary comm that you need in squad spawn is, did we flip them? We forward them.
Yeah,
I don't know. We could have flipped them.
Yo, let me ask you guys something. I saw people going back and forth about this on I don't know if it was a comment to my video or on Reddit or some shit, but is crouching up and down on a head glitch snaking? When you don't lay down, you just crouch up and down over and over again. Do you guys think that's snaking?
Yeah, when you're doing it repeatedly,
I thought it was snaking. But people were saying that that's not snaking. People were saying that it's not snaking.
Yeah, but it's not as bad. There's a difference, right? There's blatant snaking, and there's you're getting stun and nated type snaking, right? Like if I'm on that back head glitch on P3 Tuscan, the only reason I'm laying down and then popping up again is if I'm weak by nades or whatever. It's not like like if you're just constantly going up and down like IW type snaking, it's just like unacceptable.
Yeah, snaking is the repeated motion of things like that. Like
bro,
I personally think it's 100% snaking.
Glitch, I'm gonna go prone. Like I'm not letting you kill me.
Exactly.
And then I'm gonna pop back up like when I think like a teammate's in a fight you, or I thought you were closer sprinting at me. Yeah.
Or when like there's no one shooting you and you're just doing it to get info.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's crazy. It's one thing if you're reloading or like exactly like Dan said, weak.
Well, let's talk about the map, Tom. If you could tab back in on your scenes and we can kind of start talking about it. I as we watch this kind of play out, I want to say something about Toronto. They've had a weird couple of series in a row now. Aren't really playing their best COD. I took a look. Their team KD right now, they're 10th overall, which is a lot lower than I would expect from
Toronto?
this team. Yeah.
Interesting.
It's only like 4 series, right? They play again tomorrow, I think, correct? Or do they?
I think they're done.
I would not
Yeah.
overthink Ultra by any means.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't think anybody has
any.
any reason to be worried about Ultra.
Yeah.
Like I think last year's a testament. Granted, dropping me made them the 10 times better team, but like as the year progresses, they just become a better and better team. And they won the Kickoff Classic. Like they're always going to be a strong Surge team, like always for the most part. Granted, they're going to lose some here and there. For the most part, they'll always be a top Surge team.
And I don't know where the server is, and obviously it didn't play too much of a factor. But they're one team that's like not in the country,
LA
right?
to Toronto,
No,
bro.
trust me,
That would have been
the Toronto's
Bellfiber hits
Toronto
different
shit's
for sure.
fine, man.
I'm just saying,
My point is
to be
this team
crazy.
gets better on land, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
listen, this is a top team for.
I think
their
the
Oh
other
making
yeah.
of the
well,
year.
they had. I just think they had a bad couple of days. Honestly,
Also,
they just
I
weren't
mean, also
themselves this
Thieves-
weekend.
And he had
Dude,
COVID,
hold on.
too.
I also
Yeah,
think
he was sick.
I think Thieves is really good right now too. Like it's not like Ultra's a top team, but it's like Thieves is really.
Yeah,
top
you gotta
team
get
right now
credit.
as
That's what
well,
I'm
so.
saying. The competition's insane. People are getting better. Everybody's getting fucking good. Everybody.
I have more because you guys just kind of took what I said. So
All right then.
obviously Cam got COVID. That probably didn't help. Another piece of Toronto that I think is interesting is they've now finished this major qualifier stage, and they're 2-4 in S&D. The only team that's worse than them right now in S&D is LAG. That's surprising to me. Definitely need to work on their S&D because that was
What's their round percentage though? Don't look at just their surge. Look at their round win
average
percentage.
round differential is 1.5.
Okay, so most of their games are at least 6-4.
But that's actually second worst in the league right now.
But I
Only worse
don't
is
think
Paris,
that's
which is
that
about
bad. Like, if you're always keeping it that close, like we saw before, there was some trolly moments, right? Pulling out a sniper 4-5, and
Yeah.
just things that you don't normally do.
I agree. I mean, look, they're a good team. I think likely at this point with some of their wins, they're going to make it to winners bracket. But right now, they're not playing their A+ game. I'm curious to see what they do with a little over a week of practice before they fly out to Texas and see if they can show what we saw from the Kickoff Classic when they go back to ESA and see if they can defend.
What's weird about, or I guess what's impressive about like them is like they get better with each match they win on LAN, right? Like it's like each match they win, it's like they're progressing and their confidence just skyrockets. I guess the same goes for any team, right? Like when you start streaking on LAN, all it takes is one series win realistically on LAN for a team to streak and win a major, right? Like easier said than done, but really all it takes is that first win.
You guys at World War II.
It really is you're fucking terrible. But I mean, yeah, but you're all right. Yeah, I mean. You beat a team that was way better than you guys somehow, and you ended up winning the event.
No, I didn't beat a team. I beat your team.
Yeah. You beat my team that was way better than your team somehow, and you won the event because of it.
3-0, by the way.
All right,
Yeah,
that was
I'm
fucking.
I'm taking EG 9 out of 10 times.
It was 3-0.
Dude.
Nah,
y'all
Dan, we
saw-
would have
y'all saw
bet.
finals.
Dan, we were the best team
Honestly,
at champs. Dan, we were
to
the
be
best
honest,
team at
then
champs.
I don't know
I
who did your
didn't
guys'
say
beat.
that.
I'm just busting your balls.
That's what lost you
We
this
definitely
year.
weren't.
What map was that? What was it? Gibraltar?
You
That
played
was not
Gibraltar
acceptable pick.
instead of playing us on Vout, which
That
we
was
were
an
horrible at.
unacceptable pick.
Wow, what a fucking
we're
map,
blaming
huh?
Vito's now?
Gibraltar.
We're blaming
Now he has 17k subs. He's
How about
absolutely
that
laughing.
map? Whenever I think of Gibraltar, I just think of Kenny. When he fucking
great map.
jumped down
Echo
that.
Echo Fox 5.
Yeah. I just remember. I don't know why.
You
It's
see,
the first thing I
Ben,
think of.
those standings put us at 10th. And I think that
Well,
would.
so I
Those
don't
standings
know.
don't have
I don't
tiebreakers,
know.
right?
With so tiebreakers can change a lot tomorrow. Map counts are close. Looking at this, right, you got to think that top four is pretty much. Those top 4 teams are pretty much going to make winners, right? Anyone that's sitting at 3-1,
Yeah.
4-1 or 4-0
And then Texas and
Holy
Boston play
shit.
each other, right?
But so Texas and Boston is a win in your end situation. Either one of those teams win, you're going to be on 3 wins. You're Gucci. But depending on how it's going to go down, let's say that FaZe loses, suddenly you've got like a 6-way 2-3.
Okay, hold
situation
on. Let's be realistic. FaZe will be 5-0, and Sublabs will be 1-4. So let's think about the outcomes.
But we'll get to picks in a second if you want to.
No, I'm just saying the outcomes, like for the tiebreakers. Because there's no way that FaZe is losing to NYSL. So how does those tiebreakers actually look? No, I know. I don't know the odds for that
because the
series,
Seattle Ravens match
everything
doesn't
I have on
matter.
it.
That just matters for their own seed, right?
Yeah. So who's the other match tomorrow?
Boston, Texas, and then New York, Atlanta.
So Boston, Texas affect anything?
Yeah, because one of them is guaranteed to be 2 and 3. Which
We have-
they'll
you have to
fall
Right, but
into
I'm
the 2
saying
and 3
so-
pool.
they would still be in winners, correct?
So
It's
here's
not like they would fuck up the tiebreaker.
No, I don't know about that.
I mean, it gets tricky. As far as I know, even if we lose 3-0, I'm pretty positive we're in winners, but it could change.
I think that's right because
we have a good map count.
subliners game 5.
So
If you got 3-1 by subliners and then 3-0'd by Texas,
then we'd probably be out.
You would have been out, I
here's the
think.
complexity of it, which is the way these tiebreakers work. If you go on the website, it's a multi-team tiebreaker. If you end up with 6 teams at 2 and 3, you got to go through all the tiebreakers to eliminate one team, and you go with 5, and then go with 4. I'm just saying in worst case scenario, Pat. I'm just giving an example.
I'm telling you, worst case scenario is 5 teams.
Assuming that FaZe, beat New York, anything can happen, man.
Listen, bro, Thanos would have to would come to this world, snap his fingers, and the Tiny Terrors disappear for FaZe to lose that series tomorrow. Like, it's not happening.
Saying, man,
there will be 5 possibilities
happen.
for a 2-3 tiebreaker.
Nah, I guess, bro. I personally think anything can happen, but I don't see FaZe losing. No, obviously.
They haven't won a hard point, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see New York winning it either, but we'll see. You never know what COD.
2-3-5 exists, bro. Team A.
Well, let's go through the predictions. Let's go through and let's give our predictions for tomorrow.
I'm trying to get to the card. Give me a second. I'm trying to find it.
Oh, no problem at all, man. And here we are. We got London Royal Ravens versus Seattle Surge, Boston Breach against Optic Texas, and Atlanta FaZe going up against NYSL. 3 matches tomorrow. I like when it's 3 matches. I think 3 matches is a good number.
London... Yeah, we'll probably finish. Look at this. We'll probably finish around like 6-10 p.m.
Yeah, I mean it's midnight right now. It's midnight Eastern. These four matches are long days, but I do love COD. Who doesn't love a little bit of COD?
I think 3-4-3 is nice. Like,
yeah, I don't mind it. I don't mind it.
I just wish on Saturday they've started like an hour earlier.
Earlier,
like
right?
That.
They should start earlier. That's what I said. I said they should start earlier. I feel like even for the UK,
even on other days, I think you should start an hour earlier.
Yeah.
I feel like 2 p.m. Eastern is good.
Yeah, I agree. 11 a.m. Pacific.
That's when scrim starts, anyways.
True.
I got
very
the
true.
London Royal Ravens beating the Seattle Surge 3-1. I think Surge would need another monumental performance out of Sib to beat this team. I think London is just more consistent, and I think they're a better Surge team. So, like I said, I'm still not fully confident in the Surge just yet. I think they're a top 6, top 8 team for sure, but I got London winning this one.
Last time I went against London and Gizmo won, and he DM'd me. So now
he came on the flank. He came on the
flank. He DM'd me. He said, "Look what you did, this and that." I said, "I won't doubt you again." So I'm going London 3-1.
Yeah, now you're gonna have Lamar in your DMs.
Really?
Imagine if Lamar wins, he DMs me.
I really want to commit myself into a Seattle 3-2 pick, but I'm not super impressed with what I saw yesterday. I like what I've seen so far from London. I like how great they look, especially in Game 3. Control. I just think London's going to come out and take this one 3-1.
What do you guys think?
Surge win this, it'll be a 3-2 round 11 Lamar 1v1 clutch. That's the only way Surge will win this one.
Danzin, you want to get predictions or you want us to just do it?
Y'all got those. Y'all got those.
I bet.
Yeah, I mean, no. I mean,
I
think every match tomorrow is good. I think a lot of.
So who do you got winning? London
who do you got winning? That's you don't. It's up to you if you want to answer.
I don't know. It's a toss-up, right? Like I don't think Surge today is Surge. Right, I think Surge had a tough day. I think they're going to come out with a chip on their shoulder. I also think London is a strong team too. So honestly, this one's like a flip a coin.
Well, London wants
me.
Revenge because they got embarrassed by them at the kickoff.
I think they're both they're both strong teams. I'm looking at Gizmo, right? I think Gizmo's been sort of the I guess surprise for me going into this year. Like I think I expected Afro to be like their star, and I think he's one of them. But I think Gizmo's been like the biggest. He's impressed me the most on London, so I'm looking at Gizmo.
All right, let's get into the.
But I don't have a fucking prediction for you. I really don't know.
Let's get into the next series. We got Boston Breach going up against Optic Texas. I'll kick it off. I think Optic's hitting form. I'm going 3-1. I think Boston will snag a map somewhere, but I think Optic's gonna dominate tomorrow.
Yeah, I kind of on that same page. I think it's gonna be a 3-0, but I don't think it'll be a blowout 3-0. But I do agree with you. I think they're finally hitting form. Hopefully they have the right attachments on their classes. But yeah, I do think they're hitting form coming into this late part of the stage, heading into their home event. So
you guys are fucked up friends, man. I'm just kidding.
I'm sorry, Zeno. I'm gonna spot you guys a map. I'm going to say the Optic are going to take this 3-1.
Listen, man, I'll say this about my team, right? My team is a little inconsistent right now, right? We got 2 young guys. We got some growing pains. I think on any given day, we could beat any team. And on any given day, we could lose to teams that we shouldn't lose to.
Yeah,
agreed.
I kind of have you guys how I have Florida. Like you have a high ceiling to beat any team.
So we have a high ceiling. We need to find our consistency. I'm confident. I'm upset with today's loss. Obviously, Optic's a tough opponent always. So I just don't. I think we're a way better S&D team than we showed today. So I wouldn't rely on us losing 2 searches every series. So we'll see. Obviously, hope to win, but
yeah,
it's gonna be a good match. It's gonna be a good match,
bro. How are you losing searches, bro?
Such an obvious take, like what? Shut up, idiot.
Then ignore them in the chat.
I have to.
Just
sorry.
ignore them.
You don't got to follow up on people.
No, I think it's great, man.
Nah, see, I have the same problem telling people to go fuck themselves when they're talking shit. But you know, I gotta learn to do better. So do you. We gotta do better, Tony. Me and you, we gotta do better.
Well,
listen, I think it's great.
Let's get into the FaZe versus New York match because obviously I have some differing opinions than I guess Ben. So Ben, we'll start with you. What do you think for this one?
As much as I was talking up, New York's got a chance in this series. I don't like the fact that they can't win hard points. I'm going to give FaZe this one 3-0. I think they just look like the better team right now.
Tommy?
3-0.
I got a 3-0 as well. It actually might be like a 2.5-0. I think New York might just rage quit on the control, bro. They might just leave instantly.
I don't know. I think at the end of the day, all 3 of these matches, COD is COD. Anything can happen. There's a lot of talented players in this league, so we'll see how it goes. I think we'll have a lot of great matches today. Let's close this one out. Shout out to Tony and Dan for coming on. You guys are the fucking goats. I appreciate it. I don't know what the fuck's going on with Doug. He said he was coming on. He's right. He's still sitting down there.
Did you gas my 1v2s?
Yeah, he's in it. I actually said that you're one of the most clutches in the game right now. You're one of the most clutches players in the game right now.
In World War II.
No, I flipped a switch, dude. Ever since the Skies 1v1, I flipped a switch.
You're finally playing confident in your clutches.
Yeah, you look confident, Tony. You look confident. I like that.
I wish you flew at people with a pistol and clutch back in
Keep it up, Tony. Keep it up.
Trust me, so do I. That was a tough one,
Dan. But Tony, you got to keep the gas pedal down now. Now you got to keep the gas pedal down.
Yeah, I mean, listen, man, we'll keep improving, right? That's the thing about our team. Yep. We're still really new, so hopefully we just keep it smooth sailing.
For sure.
Well, I wish you the best of luck. Thanks for coming on. Thank you to Dan. Thank you to Tony. Obviously, Ben and Pat, the fucking goats.
We gotta get a putt.
Oh yeah, Ben. Yeah, Ben, you're like unbelievable right now. You can't be.
Have you not missed?
Keep this going.
He hasn't missed in a while.
What's your streak? How many flanks?
Like 8. I think it's actually 8.
I've been icy there, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think it's actually 8.
Here's guys that I've been icy though.
But listen, I'm going wide left.
Guy.
Wide left.
You going wide left? All right, then I'll go wide right again. We're going back to the OG. Ben, the chain, Ben. Thank you.
You over there eating finger food.
Appreciate it, Ben.
He still didn't tell us.
I've never heard that.
Yeah, bro, we asked him what
eating finger food.
Yeah, what is that?
Just tell me what you got.
And that's such a Ben Janeseem answer, bro.
Chicken tenders and then just
That's such a Ben Janeseem answer, bro.
Whoa! Did he move up where he's?
Whoa! Move it back! Move it back, Ben!
Wait, now we figured out why he's 8-0.
Move it back! There you go.
Yeah, this guy was starting. You saw that?
What the fuck?
He was giving himself a little fucking.
Wait, hold on. How long is that mat? How long is the mat? What the hell?
Has he been always putting that?
No way. I'm going wide right. I'm going
wide left.
You better not miss this part, man. You better not miss this part. He missed it. He missed the ball. Oh no.
Yo, he's been putting with training wheels on and us not knowing because of his camera angle. No way.
He's been changing up the angles.
He's been finessing over there.
No
Remember we were
way.
talking about getting a long mat? He had a long mat the whole time.
What the fuck? You're like telling me to move it back? You're like, what the fuck is that shit?
Yo, I'm going to have to go on the YouTube and see if he's been putting from that distance.
Yo,
Ben, you were putting with the training wheels on.
The 7-foot range. There's a mark on the net, man.
But you were on like the first the lines.
No, 7 foot.
All right. Take it easy.
The first one's 3 feet.
We don't want no problems. We don't want no fucking problems, guys. Everybody calm down.
Sounds like a lot of fugazi to me, but it's all
good. Shit. We're going to end it on that note, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Go to anchor.fm/theflank to check out audio sites that we're on. Go to @theflank at Twitter. Grace doing a phenomenal job over there. Take care, brush your hair. We'll see you guys next time on another episode of The Flank. How you doing?
Have a good day.